Yeah. Yeah. One time blitzing disguised as Verizon workers. Evil thoughts in their minds to divide and murk us. I'm an instrument of God, designed with purpose. Why you dirty your shirt as you slide with serpents? Nothing less than greatness what I'm trying to align with. Stand alone, mindful by who I side with. Get the dollars, my mind stays on the profit. While niggas gossip, I'm focused more on my options. The new school is cool, but I'm still Biggie rocking. Coochie with the Timbs, enough style to bring a flock in. Perfectionist, excellence, anytime I rock shit. Spit it wicked, Edward Scissors with the sample chopping. Fuck a LV, UDs on my attire. Wolf rocking the ski, that's me who made the fire. You could either use your mind to catch a hollow through it. That foolish shit, man, I'm chopping through it like Tommy Hewitt. Let's get to the business. You can't afford to miss this. This represents MCs, the difference is tremendous. You can't learn running your mouth, shut up and listen. You can't learn running your mouth, shut up and listen. Let's get to the business. You can't afford to miss this. This represents MCs, the difference is tremendous. You can't learn running your mouth, shut up and listen. You can't learn running your mouth, shut up and listen. Setting bar heights far beyond nice. Give a fuck about what your squad is like. Y'all the broad type, scribe bars the hard type. Heartfelt lyrics, but y'all got me number than Mr. D's foot with the frostbite. Building a legacy, but wasn't given the tools. Over time, you improvise on what was given to you and watch who you listening to. Cause I done seen niggas play plenty games. I got that Jack Nicholson view. On the hills of perfection, learning from predecessors that might have got misdirected, evaded them cloud chasers, expose them for who they are. But some of you want attention way more than you want progressions. First came with a different kind of movement, provide a dope rhyme and hope folks will be vibing to it. But this time Bobby moving like Tommy Hewitt, wearing MC's faces here, it takes a certain kind to do it. Let's get to the business, you can't afford to miss this. This represents MCs, the difference is tremendous. You can't learn running your mouth, shut up and listen. You can't learn running your mouth, shut up and listen. Let's get to the business, you can't afford to miss this. This represents MCs, the difference is tremendous. You can't learn running your mouth, shut up and listen. You can't learn running your mouth, shut up and listen.
All right, hold up. Want to give a shout out to to Stacy, Sister Stacy. Thanks for coming through. Big up my brother Hans. Me and Hans go way back. Yeah, brother Hans. Me and brother Hans, we go way back, man. That's my brother for life. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you came through, man. Yeah, we gotta rebuild, man. You and I know we used to do lives before Google Hangouts came out. That's when we used to upload videos and we had to get it under 10 minutes. But I miss those days, man. I miss the crew, man. We gotta get I gotta get my brother Hans. That's a deep brother, man. Very powerful brother. And I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad his family is all right. So me and Hans, that's my good old college buddy, man. And definitely he's the godfather of my daughter. So I really appreciate him, man. I'm glad he's okay. So Hans, if you're listening, brother, you're well missed, and your family. So just let you know that we miss you over here. So. But we're gonna do our thing, man. It's you and Vinny. We're gonna get back. We're gonna get back to what we used to do. I miss those days. With that said, thank you for tuning in. This is gonna be an interesting program. There's a lot of things that I want to get off before I start the program. Actually, today's topic is Goofy versus Steven or Stefan. Stephen, I think his name is Stephen, or you say Stevens. I wanted to chop that up a little bit. We're going to take a look at that. We're going to break it down. But before, I want to share a couple of things regarding to my last program. And one thing I don't like is that you have people that would try to slick this. And my thing is like this: if you're going to try to slick this, be man enough or be woman enough to say the person's name. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Don't use codes like devil or that person. No, I mean, I might, because of course I might have people are not stupid. I mean, that's that, and I didn't even like that, even doing the hip hop situations where they would use subliminal messages instead of just saying the person's name, and to me, when you say the person's name, that means you're not afraid of nobody. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Stacy, subliminal dissing, like, come on, man. Like, we already know who you're talking about, which I'm going to show today because I want to save the best for last. So I want to just get this off my chest. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to move, and we're going to get back. We're going to get to the real, we're going to get into the comedy side. So my last program, I know Stacy remembers because she was very active. I did a program called The Dishonorable Elijah Muhammad Exposed, and I got some good feedback. One of my great supporters, Emil, came through. He did a really good job, in my opinion, on acting on what these B-Rad bozos are saying. And I want to I'm gonna have you listen to something. I'm not gonna share this video, but I'm going to have you listen to this, and I'm gonna have you listen to a couple of things. Let me just try to figure out when I'm gonna do this. I'm going to, let me see. Should I put this one? I'm gonna have this one, and then because I got some slides I want to share too as well. Because I got some slides, and this is more like a question, because people keep holding this Elijah Muhammad like he's just this great, powerful person, and I just don't see it. I don't see it, because he's not adored globally. I'm trying to see if I should play this one. So I'm gonna share screen something, and I'm gonna let you play the audio. And I want to listen, because you're gonna listen to these two B-Rabs. You're gonna listen to Nut 7 and Bozo Muhammad. And this is what I was talking. This is something I was saying before, how these guys, when this is doing the battle, when Young Pharaoh and General Seti went after the NOI, and I mean that was huge. And these clowns got together and did a over 2-hour video showing nothing, and just basically Negro-Pean babbling, in my opinion. Stacy said, the two crazy Muslims. Yeah. Yes, definitely facts. So I'm going to play. I'm just going to let y'all listen to it, and you're going to hear them. Just listen to what they're saying. We're going to break it. We're going to chop it up. Hold on. Let me screen share this real quick. And I'm going to play it. And just tell me Tell me what y'all think in the comments.
And now I'm up early this morning here, and I'm like, I have to call this brother, let him know, look, can we do this early? Because I got, unfortunately, like so many of us, I got to work. So, you know, I got to, I really don't have to, but I need to get an early start on what I need to do. So get out the way. But anyway, we're here, and I'm ready to do the best I can. That's all I can say. But anyway,
definitely.
This is
Most definitely.
Yes, sir. Well, anyway, to the audience, this is, of course, the Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am your soul brother, number 1, Angel number 7. And today we have as a special guest to speak on the topic that we've chosen, young Pharaoh, Nation of Islam. Is it beef or is it just a simple misunderstanding? And so we can talk about this. I invited my brother, Maurice Muhammad, of whom I want to make very clear, to my knowledge, he's not in any official capacity in the Nation of Islam.
Now you heard him. He said he's not the official capacity. So basically, this is a silly Negro that hasn't been into the organization. But how are you going to defend an organization that you never joined, that you never took part of? But you claim that you're an expert into an organization that he never was an FOI. He never wore the FOI uniforms. He never met Farrakhan. He never participated in any, he never even went into any mosque. But he's claiming something that he's not. And see, things like that can get you hurt. Things like that, when you false flag, that can get you hurt. So how could you even listen to somebody who's not even an active member of any type of organization? Hotep Jamal, Hotep. So how are you going to be an active member? How are you going to talk about something that you never joined? So you heard him say he's not an active, or he's not an official member of the Nation of Islam. He's false flagging. And that right there can get you hurt.
Is that correct, brother?
Yes, sir. That is very correct.
Yes. So
Very correct.
So whatever he says, what's that said, does not necessarily affect the what's that word? Does not necessarily opinion of the Nation of Islam. Okay.
Exactly.
So don't go around. Well, Maurice Muhammad, he's a member of that nation, and he said no, he does not. He is not sitting in any official capacity. He's just a brother who's in the Nation of Islam and giving his opinion like I'm giving mine. Now me, I represent this ministry, so I can't do the same. I wish I could, but I can't do that. Anyway, brother, welcome to the Realities Temple on Earth, brother Maurice Muhammad. Thank you for being here, brother. Haven't talked to you in a little while, haven't seen you in a little while, but I have kept up with your some of your commentary, and of course, both of us are familiar with the current climate right now. That's why we chosen this particular topic: young Pharaoh, SETI, Nation of Islam beef. Is it really a beef, or is it just a simple misunderstanding? We want to talk about that. I know that this topic also can be pretty emotional for some of us, but I would hope that in our earlier correspondence through text and speaking in person, I hope that is the type of conversation that we want to continue to have on this live stream. So with that said, brother, however you want to introduce yourself, bring yourself, you can talk to the audience, and we can get this started.
Yes, thank you.
Now, I want you to listen. Because this is something I brought up in my last live. I want you to listen to what this Bozo Muhammad said.
Brother says his name is Brother Maurice Muhammad. I am not here representing the Nation of Islam or the believers. I am here representing myself and giving what I believe good information on this topic.
Now listen to what he said. He said that he's not there to represent the Nation of Islam because you was never a member. How could you represent something you was never in? And then he turns around and said, well, I'm just representing myself. And listen to what he said. He said, I believe. Believe is something that you think it is that you can't prove. He believed, not known. So these idiots did over a 2-hour program and did not share screen their work. They didn't show anything of what they was talking about. Even if you believe it, you're still supposed to show some sort of proof and evidence of what you're talking about. But they don't have anything. This is the reason why Boza Muhammad lost the debate with me. And I still have if anybody want to check it out, is on my channel. And I destroyed him. He did not show nothing. I'm screen sharing. Because he turned a debate into a religious debate because I'm a historical person. I'm historical. I'm not a religious person. So anything that I show is historical. It's facts. It's tangible. That's what I'm about. This is the reason why I don't allow no religious fanatics on my panel no more because they get very emotional. When you say, well, that don't make any sense, they get upset. And I destroyed the Moors. I destroyed these Nation of Islam groups. I destroyed them all. I'm a champion in this mug. So they know that's why they don't ever come back. They never come back. Just that guy, Kenny Lamb Moore. Me and Brother Bakari destroyed him. And the only thing he could do is curse and bitch and complain. Nobody give a damn. No one cares if your feelings are hurt. The facts are the facts. That's just how it is. Let's say that again. I want y'all to listen to what he says. Because this is documented. Let me see if I can.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Brother says, my name is Brother Maurice. I am not here representing the Nation of Islam or the believers. I am here representing myself and giving what I believe good information on this topic. As I was putting out the event yesterday, a brother had responded to that, and I don't have the message is gone, but I was looking for it. He said that I wouldn't say it's a beef, but it is definitely a misunderstanding.
Yes.
And I would use the word, it's insightful and borderline treasonous.
Mm-hmm.
Borderline treasonous when it comes to how you do what you do. You know, it's okay to critique anything and anybody. We should be able to do that. But it's the manner in which things are done.
Not to cut you off, Brother Maurice, you sort of, on my end, you sort of crackling. You sort of like, I can't really explain, sort of, I can hear you and I can decipher what you're talking about, but it's some type of technical thing on your end.
Get up and see where we should really be.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just gonna end that right there. I didn't want to be, So you heard what he said. He said it was borderline treasonous, but you never showed how it was treasonous. You never showed. Well, he said, well, it's how because it was how it was done. These people put out their presentation. They showed that this Muslim stuff is not working for African people globally. It's been a detriment. It's been a problem. It's a tool to destroy African people. I want to give a shout out to Rashid. Big ups to you, Rashid. I'm glad you okay. I'm glad you're safe, and I'm glad that you're doing well. You've been well missed. So shout out to Brother Rashid. You know, it's good to see you, man. And this is one of the, you know, this is a good brother, man. Very, very good brother, very powerful brother. One of my good supporters, man. You know, really good supporters. So if you're going, my whole thing is this: if you're going to show anything, or if you're going to say something, you got to show your work. You know, so basically, this was a 2-hour program, and the only thing they was just doing is just basically B-Rab babbling. That's all it is. Just what they call nigger babbling. That's all it is. That's all they're doing. They were just upset because they just got called out. They got called out. You know what I'm saying? And that's the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? They going along with a religion that's not doing anything for black people. So if you're going to say there was a misunderstanding, you got to show how it was a misunderstanding. That means you're going to screen share your work. That means you're going to show your work. You know, you just buying time, just talking about something that you just disagree with. That's just the bottom line is. And I always say this: religion is supposed to be personal. You know what I'm saying? But the Nation of Islam, they want their whole goal was they want to make everybody Muslim. They want to make everybody, because they just want the numbers. They want to control black people. That's what it is. And it doesn't work that way. I want to so I just want you to hear what these clowns were saying. And that's what I was trying to look for that video in my last live. So here's another video. Here's another video I want to talk about where oh, Stacy, that's what's up. Yes. She said these two nutcases surely caused the membership of the NOI to decline. Yes, facts. That is so true. That is so true. That is so true. Yeah, Rashid said religion is $1 trillion company. Yeah, like I said, there's 8 churches, and you come to Brooklyn, New York. There's 8 churches in the black neighborhood. There's 8 churches on every block. And they don't, and black people don't, there's no corporation built. No corporation built. You know how much money collectively that all these black churches, there's almost 84 million black churches across the country, and they all hate each other. And you know how much money, if all the black folks just came together and say, look, we're going to do a $1 million, what they call it, a million black church march. No, I want to say a movement. I want to use the word march, a movement where we're going to put all that money together and we're going to create a bunch of businesses. We're going to build grocery stores and corporate. We're going to do everything. We're going to build more black business. We're going to be more self-sufficient, because that's what we need. What's the point building? What's the point having a church and you're not going to you're not really doing nothing with it? The church is supposed to really be the backbone. Every white church, they create businesses. Whether if it's the Catholic, look at the Vatican. They built schools, they built church, they built businesses, the synagogues. You know what I'm saying? They building businesses, and only for their people. When it comes down to black folks, we can't. They just want our money and not invest it back into the people. I don't like that. And then they get mad when we say something about it. That doesn't fly. That's unacceptable. The Nation of Islam is just as guilty. I just showed that Louis Farrakhan lives in a mansion. He lives in a mansion, and black people don't find out a problem? They don't find out a problem? Pickle Barrel Bros. Oh shit. Oh. It's so funny. Oh shit. Yo, but I want to play this is okay, this is another video. This is another video. And the Bozo Muhammad attacked a male. He attacks a male. And I want you to listen to what he says.
Getting our people hooked on that poison, big business, very, very big business. And we got to clean that shit up. It can't be allowed. It can't be. Our people use you. That's some criminality, if you want to put it, about the Nation of Islam, and is it good for Black people? And we talked about the family. You're helping our open enemy. Something like that. And why? Why? Because you're so hateful. When you're dealing with an enemy that is on mission, their objective is your total destruction. Their aim and their purpose is to kill you. Now, during our time dealing with the so-called American expeditions, but yet they will call you what? The savage. They'll call you, you're helping. You're helping. You will play a role because of the indoctrination that you receive willingly to even go against. So they took it back and said, this is what we need to incorporate.
I'm trying to find the ways.
This is what we found on our expeditions. But yet they will call you what? The savage. They'll call you the savage. When without you, they have no knowledge. They have no real kingdom. They don't have anything to establish them as world leaders. Not without you. What is it that's contained in this so-called American skin? Some of us are so wicked, Some of us are so hateful because of the indoctrination that you receive willingly to even go against what's in the best interest of our people. You would target to try to destroy something like that. And why? Why? Because you're so hateful of yourself. You will play a role like you love Black people. You will play a role like you're striving to uplift Black people. But in the reality, you're helping our open enemy. In reality, you're helping our open enemy. And some of you crave attention so bad. So bad you crave this attention. You watch the programs that we put on this platform, and you sit back and you try to critique it. And you can't even do a good job at that, because it's one thing. We don't just say shit and don't prove it. We always prove what we say. We always give it to you so that you can see it for yourself and even go back and research it some more if that what we gave you at first is not satisfying you enough. So when we had the program on with Emil about the Nation of Islam and is it good for Black people, and we talked about the family of Malcolm X suing New York City, its government, its police, for the crimes that it committed in working to get her father killed. Sister Magat she gave us the printout where you can see it on the newspaper. Benjamin Crump is the lawyer behind the suit. And instead of you going to go see it for yourself after we showed it to you, you just get on your platform and lie and say, oh, that shit never happened. They're not doing that. But see, when you turn hypocrite, there's always a devil looking to take you even further down. Even further down. And there'll never be no return. There'll never be no situation where it's okay. I apologize. I repent. Because you're a hypocrite. And your best friend is the devil. So you'll run over there with the devil and talk big shit. But you have yet to pick up the phone and dial my number. You or that devil.
So, okay, I want to address that. Now, I don't know who this devil could be. And my whole thing is this. If he was talking to me, if he was talking about me, if I'm just this big bad devil, then he should have been bold enough and been brave enough to say my name. That's what he should have did. Now, he attacked Emil because Emil finally woke up and realized that Boza Muhammad is a fraud. It's a fraud. Emil did not lie about anything. Now he wants to get mad because somebody tried to critique an outdated book that was supposedly written by Elijah Muhammad. Paul's have been written by Elijah Muhammad. That's an outdated book. Why are you trying to do a book study on something that's outdated? No one cares about that shit. So Emil was saying that, hey, Asians did not change. And now I'm going to show you a video where you had a brother who was in the military, and he even said a Vietnamese girl called him the N-word. Where did she get that from? He said a Vietnamese he said a Vietnamese girl called him the N-word. But according to Bozo Muhammad, the Asians and the African descendants, they were cool. They were friends, and they would make good allies instead of making allies with other black people around the globe. So Emil was trying to say, no, you can't. That doesn't make any sense. So I'm gonna screen share something, and I wanted to just ask this question: if Elijah Muhammad or Wallace Fraud Muhammad was so important, was so great, how come there's no street after them? How come they wasn't recognized around the world? Now I'm going to screen share this, and maybe they can, I guess, explain this, and if they ever do a live video, because I would like to know. Let me see if I can screen share this real quick. Now I want y'all to see this. This is Malcolm X Boulevard. Now there's a street on Harlem. We made it. We made a street for Malcolm X. Malcolm X, but this is in Harlem. Even in Turkey, if you go to Turkey, there's a Malcolm X street in Turkey. Malcolm X was known around the world. No one knows who the fuck knows Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad was a damn nobody. He was a damn nobody. You will never find Elijah Muhammad street or a park or nothing. If he's so big, and if Elijah Muhammad was so great and wonderful, how come nobody knows who he is? How come he wasn't talked about? You got people in the Middle East knows about Malcolm than Elijah Muhammad. So you have a Malcolm X Boulevard. And even in Turkey, you have a Malcolm X street. Okay? There's no Elijah Muhammad. If Elijah Muhammad was so big, and if he was so great, why is no street after him? There's no street. There's no street, not even in Chicago or wherever he's from. There's no street after Wallace Fraud Muhammad, who was supposed to be the founder of the Nation of Islam. But I tell you one thing, there's a Marcus Garvey Park. There's a Marcus Garvey Boulevard, who was the founder of the UNIA. Oh, we endured our heroes. We endured our heroes. We praise our heroes. We praise our ancestors. I want people to see this. You will never find a Wallace Fraud Muhammad street or park, Elijah Muhammad Park. You will never find that. These people they was not liked like that. But then you got these Muslims that will sell finer call paper on 125th Street, which I showed, and they are right under Malcolm X Boulevard. They don't like Malcolm X, but why are you selling your finer call paper? Y'all, they don't respect Malcolm. They don't like Malcolm X. But they want to use his name because he was more recognizable. He was more popular. So they want to use that Malcolm X because he's more popular. But they don't like that. They don't like him. Nut 7 don't like Malcolm X. Bozo Muhammad don't like Malcolm X. I want to show something else that bothers me too. I want to get into that. Look at Farrakhan. Let's look at Farrakhan. Now, I thought that the whole purpose of being in the Nation of Islam is to basically be proud of being black, to be proud of your kinky hair. Ever since you knew Farrakhan, he will always use the crack cream to straighten his hair. This man don't like being black. He don't like anything that's African. He wants to be European. And he's always slicking his hair. And I thought that the whole purpose of the Nation of Islam is to stop using the crack cream. Why is he still cocking his hair? They call it cocking your hair. Why are you still, what is that? And he got that big ass part and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Stop doing that. And this is the reason why he's losing his hair. You're supposed to be a proud black man, but you still putting perm in your hair. Still trying to get it slick. And they want black people to follow that? Black people following this sellout? Malcolm X Malcolm X stopped doing that. Remember when he was they told him to stop doing that. Because that comes from the white man, the crack cream. And Malcolm X grew his hair naturally. You never saw Malcolm X with this type of hair before when he was in the Nation. And even when he left the Nation, matter of fact, Malcolm X grew all his hair. He started growing a beard and everything. But no one questioned these things. This man trying to look European. And this is the reason why I think Farrakhan, to me, is a coon. And I'm going to say this for the record. I heard Negroes like Tommy Sotomayor and Jesse Lee, and they said, well, coons, that's a white man's term, and that's what I said, let me tell you something. White folks, they knew what type of coons they was talking about. They knew what type of black people. There was a certain type of black people they was talking about. And they only talk about black people that love to be abused and still be happy, white butt kisser, dancing, tap dancing. That's what a coon is. You never heard white people said that Malcolm X was a coon. When it comes down to real African revolutionaries, white people never called them a coon. Correct me if I'm wrong. Show me proof. But Jesse Lee Peterson, they would call him one. They would call people like Tommy Sotomayor one. Every time you saw a coon, it was always you know, they are always some happy, smiling, dancing. You know, they are so grateful to live in poverty. Yes, sir, with a smile. Always grinning, even when they get insulted by their oppressor, they love it. So the white people know what they mean when they know about a coon. They know what a coon is. They know what a coon is. They're not talking about every black person. That's a lie. So when I hear black people, oh, they was calling everybody. No, they was calling a certain, every time you see a black face, you always see with the big lips and they smiling, and you see pictures like this. That's what a coon is. Not real African revolutionary that, yo, don't play with me type of brothers and sisters. They're not calling them a coon. You never heard white people call them a coon. They only call the Uncle Ruckuses, the people that just, yes sir, master, yes sir, master. You know, those are the mammies. Those are the coons. Those are the white people that they're talking about. I want to address that. So yes, Farrakhan is this is him. So when black people we call these sellout people coons or whatever, that's what they are. And that's what how white people will look at them. And when there was a video that I showed where you had this, there was on a panel where you had this white person got on there, and the black dude who was hosting, he thought him and his white guy was friends. They were supposed to be friends. And what did that white guy say? Every time when the black dude interrupted the white guy, he said, "Shut your monkey lips up." He said, "Shut your monkey lips." And guess what the black dude did? He did this. He started smiling and grinning. Oh man, why you guys say? Instead of kicking him off the panel, he started smiling and grinning, because that's what coons do. They love to be insulted. They love to be in poverty. They happy to be in poverty. They happy to whatever the white man placed them. They have to be. They love to be in the corner. I remember I was on TikTok, and the brother he was hosting this panel, and he allowed these Native Indians on there, and this is because he was going after the pretendian Negropeans. So I said, when I got on the panel, I said, why did you allow these white folks to put you in a corner? Why don't you don't fight for your country back? If you claim that you're Indian, why don't you fight for your country back? Why would you allow them to put you in some corner in some desert somewhere? So when India, this red bitch, she comes out of there, oh, that's not true. You know, that's what it is true. It is true. Your people haven't fought for this country. You never fought to get your country back. You in the corner in some mountain somewhere, and they put you in some little small reservation somewhere, and y'all happy. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't even know why any black person want to be a part of that. They rather be in you might as well be in a big house, and they just put you in a corner somewhere. It's the same thing. And she got upset. I didn't care if she get upset, because that's exactly what they did. All right, let me stop screen sharing this. I just want to let's see what this says. He's a coward like most black Muslims. Yes, facts. They use Malcolm's name in vain. Yep. Because they're jealous. These people are jealous. Because Elijah Muhammad is not popular, and he's still not popular. Nobody talks about Elijah Muhammad. So you got these goofballs that want to do a critique a old outdated book that's outdated. How you gonna critique something that's outdated, that is not even relevant of today? And that's what Email is saying. Like, that's a lie what you put out. Those Asians don't like y'all like that. So I'm going to show you a video that they don't even show. Like I said, if you're going to do research, if you're going to do a book study, you got to back it up with facts. You got to back it up, because that Fall of America crap, that's a religious book, because you using God and Allah and you saying things like that. That's not. It doesn't relate today. He said, Farrakhan head is a fire hazard. Facts. Yeah, the man's still perming his hair. And now he lost it. Now it's starting to, he done it so much, it can't even grow back. So now he's losing it on top. But this is supposed to be a proud black man. If you're a proud black man, why are you still perming your hair? I don't understand it. I just don't get it. So let me screen share this. Oh shit, I don't want to do that. Let me screen share this real quick. I'm gonna screen share and listen to what this brother says here. Because this backs up what Email was saying. His name is Sylvester Brucey. That's his name. Let's listen to what he says.
They said the Afro was legal. Am I right or wrong? That's what they said. It was legal. We can sport the Afro. All right. This man, there's a lot of brothers here. This man here has got an Afro. This is an Afro right here. Or somewhat of an Afro. It's not big, no. But they want us to wear skinhead. What they call it, high and tight. High and tight. It's not my culture. Am I right or wrong? They come over here. They get, all right, a Vietnamese girl. She called me a nigger.
You know what he said? He said they come over here, and he said a Vietnamese called him the N-word. But according to Elijah Muhammad, there you have brothers. There you have brothers and sisters. Let's play that again.
They said the Afro was legal. Am I right or wrong? That's what they said. It was legal. We can sport the Afro. All right. This man, there's a lot of brothers here. This man here has got an Afro. This is an Afro right here. Or somewhat of an Afro. It's not big, no. But they want us to wear skinhead. What they call it, high and tight. High and tight. It's not my culture. Am I right or wrong? They come over here. They get, all right, a Vietnamese girl. She called me a nigger. A nigga, a Vietnamese girl. I know it's not part of their language. Can't nobody tell me that's part of their language. But I'm going to go over here. The beast, you know that. See, we go over here. We fight.
Now, you heard what he said? I want y'all, I hope y'all heard that. Okay, let me do this. I hope y'all heard that. So Email was right. This is the 1970s. This is 1970. Vietnam was still going on. He said a Vietnamese girl called me the N-word. So what the Elijah Muhammad talking about? How can these people be your half brothers and sisters when they disrespect when they was disrespecting black people back then? Especially when it come to America. They even said, black man, this is not your war. Get out of here. This is not your war. We got beef with white folks. Your beef is in your whatever you at. You need to go back and deal with the white man where you at. But of course, black people, instead of saying no, they, you know, and like I said, a lot of black people came back messed up. Came back really messed up. And we need to stay out of these wars. These wars has nothing to do with us. We should have learned our lesson when our people fought, our ancestors fought for the North, and we didn't get nothing in return after that. Every time when black folks fight in their wars, we get the short end of the stick. Only thing you get is a medal, and maybe some little small, you know, you get free health care here and there, but it's very limited. Very limited. And the only thing you get is, well, thank you for your services. That's the only thing you get. Thank you for your services. That's it. So you even heard the brother said that a Vietnamese girl called them the N-word. So you can't listen to a lie. You can't listen to this lie coming from these B-Rabs who don't even do their homework, but they're going to listen to somebody who basically got love for everybody. He only got smoke for the white man, not the white girl. Not the white girl. Even though white women have raped black men. Everybody saw the movie Mandingo. That brother, he was raped. He was raped by a white woman. Many white women have raped black men. They don't talk about that. They don't talk about doing slavery. White women raped black men. Why they don't talk about it? So that needs to be, you know, a lot of people, they don't talk about those things. And I want to play one more thing before I get into my, I want to play this real quick, and I want to address something. I'm not going to be too long with this program, but I want to address something real quick. Let me screen share this.
No.
It's just that simple.
No, I can't let you do that. No, we're not gonna do that. I can't. No. We too old for that. We not.
Exactly. Ain't no way. And Brother Roy says, old as I am, I heard.
That's my life, my books.
I want to get to what she said.
Besides, you know, egregious shit, they need to be dealt with. But I'm just talking about black men in general. I love still closed. They're upset that yours are open.
Exactly. And that's true. Because I know I ain't never heard that stuff before either.
So I don't want people to cause trouble to you. I don't want you to get upset over foolishness. I don't want that. I don't want that. I just want peace. I just want us to read, you know, and have a good time. Not to be going back and forth with people who get upset because of a goddamn paragraph on a page in a book. Or sit and watch and don't like you, don't agree, and then go and cause trouble. And I just feel like, because I don't know a lot about what you've been through, but I just know, like, since I've been on your channel, it's like You know, somebody will say something and I send you the information and they'll go an argument.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they say something else. I send you another piece, then there's a fucking explosion.
Mm-hmm.
Then I read a goddamn paragraph, then we doing a goddamn response video.
Mm-hmm.
And then from that, then somebody making a goddamn video and they're calling me all out my name.
Mm-hmm.
Maurice, you work too hard. For those of you that don't know, Maurice works very, 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 very hard. My brother ain't got time for dumb shit.
Mm-mm.
And I just really felt sorry, but I know you always tell me that it's not my fault, but I don't like it.
Yeah, you know, it's definitely not your fault. And, you know, because they don't have their own mind, they don't have a black mind, they're still white-minded, then we run into these things. And so the value that you bring is greater than the trouble that they cause. So, you know, let them do what they do. And if they ever get bold enough to send me their damn address, then hell, we ain't got to do no more talking. I'll meet you right there. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, when he got the report, he said, it has to be.
No, we're not going to do that. I can't, no. Mm-mm. We too old for that. We're not doing it. Oh, please.
Sometimes, you know, people got to get that ass whooped so they understand. And you know, I believe that wholeheartedly. You know, and when I be saying that we got to inflict fear in these people, I truly mean that with every fiber in my body, because they'll continue to disrespect us because they think ain't shit gonna ever happen. But they'll show that cracker all the respect in the world because they know there'll be a goddamn response. And that's why it has to be a response. It has to be a response. You know, I remember one day where the minister was teaching and he said that a sister was walking down the street and some people was, you know, when making the cat calls and all like that. And so the FOI beat them up because you don't be disrespectful to a black woman. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, when he got the report, he said, you should have killed them. You should have killed them.
Now, I want to stop it right there. You heard what he said, right? You see how much violence, and probably the person that they probably beat up was a black person, most likely. My whole thing is this. Then that should happen to you too, Bozo Muhammad. Because didn't you call, and we played it on my last live, he called Aaliyah Muhammad a dirty whore. He called Aaliyah Muhammad a dirty whore. And she's a Muslim. She's old enough to be, and I'm like, yo, wait a minute. She's old enough to be this dude's mother, and this is what you say? And you claim that you love the Elijah Muhammad? You don't love Elijah Muhammad like you claim you do, because why would you call a Muslim woman a dirty whore? So that means you need to get your ass kicked at you. That means you need to be somebody need to unalive you. If that's the case. That's the case. So the purpose of this video is that I think this fake Mayat bitch, she got upset because I don't know if word got back to her, but she got upset because I don't know if she's talking about me. Like I said, she should have been. My thing is, like, if you're going to talk shit, say some names. Say some names. Let me play a little bit more.
And so he's teaching us the value.
Very humble. I don't bother nobody. But it's some people out there that really, really love me, and they know that I got their back.
Mm-hmm.
They can come right now and come in my house and stay in my house and bring their family and stay as long as they want to. So you're not going to get very far with that.
No. No. Mm-mm.
You're not going to get very far with that, sir.
Not at all. Not at all.
Just don't agree with certain aspects, but I don't go bash anybody.
Right.
And we talking about this some crazy shit with Black people. That's why, we have a long way to go. We have a long way to go. We just don't get it.
Mm-mm.
We don't want to come together.
And this is a beautiful thing. Mm-hmm.
You understand? You sitting there with knowledge that, like you said, you even taught me. You said Elijah Muhammad, when he talked about that,
mm-hmm.
you're not attacking any regular woman now. We own, because it would definitely change
your time, your life, your energy.
No, I'll go straight to Farrakhan.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? You sitting there with knowledge that, like, you
forward to what you bring on Tuesday, because I know I'm going to learn something that I didn't know before.
I want to play this one.
Books. I did a lot of traveling, and although it's a lot of bullshit through a woman, the first goddamn woman the Bible shitting on is Eve, and then they go on and shit on the woman that was bleeding all over the goddamn like nothing else. That motherfucker like a good plate of food and some black woman. Don't you ever get it twisted.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see our brothers who are getting contracts in the music industry, fucking idiots. And you don't deserve to even fucking breathe as far as I'm concerned, because you're too fucking because it's in the Bible. It's nothing hope.
Exactly. The thing, one more the thing is, when you're attacking a black woman, calling her all out of her name, not because she is betraying that kind of behavior, but she is teaching wisdom that you don't even understand, that you don't even have the inkling to even go and get the understanding of something, of a book that you've never even read. But with your half-learned self, you think you can make comments that should make her feel less than, or should make other black women feel less than. And really what you are is a hater of our own people. And the evidence that this individual has internalized the racist, sexist ideologies of white culture. This means that they have absorbed and are now projecting harmful beliefs about Black people and Black women at a time when we are definitely at war and fighting for the hearts and minds of our people. That you would take your little scrawny jackass self and watch the whole program that we do, and then take the shit, put it on your channel, and then so-called enough break it down to call a black woman out of her name several times.
And got a whole mama.
Exactly.
It's supposed to be a man with a mother. See, that's the thing about a lot of these niggas, and I grew up with people like that in my family. They ain't gonna fight another nigga. They ain't gonna
say. I want to just end that right there. I'm tired. I don't want to listen to no more. That's one thing I don't like. That's one thing I don't like. I hate a weak ass black woman. I hate a weak black woman, and I hate a weak Negro male, because a weak black woman always want to play victim. They want to throw a rock, but as soon as someone throws rocks at them, oh my God, you throw a rock at a black woman. You throw a rock at a black woman. Please. Now I remember in the last panel, and when I did my program, I did call this fake Mayat chick a bitch. And the reason why I said that, the reason why I called her a bitch, is because she had called black people from the motherland slave catchers. Now, I know a lot of wonderful black people in the continent that never done me wrong. You want to attack black folks that hasn't done nothing to you. And you heard this bitch says, oh, Africa owe us too. What, you're not even talking about what type of black people, because a lot of those black people that enslaved other black folks in the continent got converted. We know about Leopold II, how he converted black people into Moors, you talk about the how those black people was converted to the Islam. We don't talk about the sub-Saharan slave trade, where a lot of black men was converted into that Islam to capture their own people. If you don't, like I said, check out the movie Woman King. How those sisters was based on a true story. Most of those black men that was capturing their own people for the slave, for the oppressor, they were Muslim. They turned into Muslims. Then you got the Christian black folks that were. See, these are the things that these Negroes leave out. It wasn't all. It was. You cannot talk against the whole continent. What about the black people that fought back, even on the slave cargo ships? How they fought back and turned the ships back around to go back to their homeland. They don't talk about that. You have black people that fought to death to be free, to defeat the colonizers, and had to kill their own people who was converted. So yeah, I took offense to that, because I met a lot of black men and black women from the continent. They've been so good to me. Those are my peoples. How dare you? And because someone called you a bitch, you want to cry. Fuck you. You're still a bitch. And if this person got a problem with me, she could come on a live feed now. She could come up now and we'll duke it out. How dare you come out your mouth and then you wanna cry wolf, or you wanna cry because somebody threw a rock back at you. But it's okay to bully somebody and to humiliate somebody. Now they get a whole program. They set up one of my best supporters, Emil. They set him up, and only thing these evil motherfuckers did, they use interrogation, they use intimidation, and they use humiliation on this guy. Now, Bozo Muhammad, he's half this dude's age. Bozo Muhammad got to be in his 50s. And this is what you do to Emil, who's probably not even 30 yet. And you claim that you're a black leader. How come you didn't call Emil and settle that over the phone and just say, hey, look, let's and everything don't have to be on social media. And this is the reason why when he did that shit to me, I checked his ass for it. I checked his ass. And he had to bow down to me and try to make peace with me after I checked his ass, because he did it to me. And the thing is, when he did it, it wasn't even about me. He was going after the crack baby from Michigan. And I protected the crack baby from Michigan. And he didn't like it. So he tried to air me out in front of this chick, Yaya, who was kissing his ass at one point. And she was another one that cried, oh, you're attacking a black woman. Weak ass. Let me say this. I hate a weak ass bitch. I hate a weak ass bitch. Because those are weak bitches that I cannot stand. That they'll throw a rock. And then when you throw a rock back at them, oh, you my God, you're attacking a black woman. Shut your stupid ass up. Because real sisters don't act like that. You never heard Harriet Tubman say, oh my God, you're attacking a black woman. And Harriet Tubman She'd been through some mess, and she still held her own. She still held her own. She wasn't worrying about somebody attacking her. She held her own. She was like, yo, I'm at war. That queen held her own. Queen Nzinga, all these, Queen Nanny, all these sisters that held their own. They didn't play victim. And I have a problem with that. And there's always some simp got to come to the rescue. Bozo Muhammad's one of the biggest cowards of all cowards. I met this dude in person. And that person, and he was afraid of me. Even the way he shook my hand, he was shaking. Because he met a God. So talk is cheap on YouTube. And let me tell you this, and I tell Bozo Muhammad this, if he ever come to my city, he has to check in. He has to check in. Just like some of those gangs, you got to check in. You got to check in. You're going to check in with me. I can't stand that. I can't stand a weak-ass black woman. That's disgusting. They the worst. Oh my God, you're taking a blood, but it's okay to call black people. I met this sister. I'm just gonna say this. I'm gonna move on. There's one brother. I still keep in touch with him. His name is Abdul. He's a Muslim, by the way. Not no Nation of Islam Muslim. That's fake. That's fake Muslim right there. Nation of Islam is fake. They're not real Muslims to me. But this brother, he looked out for me. He's from Lagos. And he's back home now. It's funny how these black people can say, oh, they come over, they want to stay in America. He told me straight up, he's not staying here. He's going to make his money because the currency is much higher over here. So he shipped his money over there. And once he retires, he's going to go back home, which he have done. He's home chilling. He called me up and said, I'm back home. So I keep in touch with him. I'm chat with him on WhatsApp, and very good brother. But this brother looked out for me when I didn't have no money. He comes with some snacks and stuff, and I had to thank him. And so one time I said, I'm going to pay you back. Because remember, I'm still learning my African roots. All right? I'm in my 30s. I'm still learning. I said, I'll pay you back as soon as I get paid. I didn't have no money. And he looked out for me. He said, you don't have to pay me back. He said, you being my brother and just you being an African man is enough for me. He said, that's always been an African culture. Because I see you as family. That's what it was. So all this, I'm paying you back. You don't have to pay me back. You don't have to pay me back. Give me a second. He said, you don't have to pay me back. He said, that's the African way. And I just learned something. Because the European mind or the American mindset is that I gotta pay you back. Because that's been the European American culture where you don't do nothing for nothing. You give somebody, you expect something in return. He said, no, not as African people, we don't do that. He said, I did it because you're my brother. He put his race first. He didn't say that's a Muslim way. He didn't say because that's Islam. He never said, well, I'm Muslim. He said, I'm African. And he was Muslim. He did not put his religion first. Not once he never said, because I'm a Muslim, I have to do that. He said, no, because we're African people. He said, this is the reason why more black people has to come back home. And I just learned something. I met this beautiful girl. She works with me. Her name is Tracy. Very beautiful woman. Very beautiful woman. Very sweet girl. So I'm supposed to call these people slave catchers? I'm supposed to call my brothers and sisters from the context of slave catchers? That's the most evil thing you can say about somebody who hasn't done nothing to me, who's been kind to me. In the meanwhile, I got Negroes here that treat me like crap, threatening me like these bulls, like these mental nut seven and these and this bozo threatening me and making mockery and all that stuff. And these supposed to be black folks that claim they love black people. And I want to say this, and this goes to the mental patient, the turf-faced mental patient, nut seven. And I want to address this because I want to clear this up. And then once I clear this up, we're going to go into my main, in the main program. Because it's all about integrity, with this thing called integrity. Don't put out lies and tell the whole, if you don't know anything, speak to me first. Don't sit there and put lies out there. So I want to I'm going to put this $700, $800 equipment to bed. I'm going to put this to bed. Okay. I get a phone call from this person named Craig that everybody probably know that I used to be cool with, that I no longer associate myself with him. Craig called me up and he came up with an idea. He said, look, I want to start this radio YouTube thing but I need some money. I need a $700 because that's how I buy the equipment, because it comes with a mixer and all this other stuff. I thought it was a great idea. At the time, I just filed my income tax money and I knew I was going to get a nice sum of money back. So I said, look, next week I should get my money. And because he was saying that, I said, look, I can give you half of it. I give you half and you pay the other half. So that way, him and I could be like partners. Him and I could be partners, because I was like, wow, that's a good idea. So I thought it was between me and him. I thought it was between me and him, and it should have been between me and him. So I said that way he could be partners. That way he was still, it's almost like he could be like, just like a record company. He will be the executive producer. I'll be a producer. He'll be the executive producer. He'll be president. He'll be the president of his company. I'll be the vice president of the company. So any advice that I might tell him or any advice I might say is up to him to say yay or nay. That was what we talked about. That was the plan, I thought. I get a phone call the next day. Craig called me up and he says, don't worry about giving me any money, because Nut 7 already ordered the equipment for me and it's on its way. So by that time, that was out of my hands out there. I didn't even know he had spoke to him about it. I was like, okay, but I thought that was a nice thing. I said, well, that's a nice thing. He did. And until the following week, that's when the beef between Nut 7, Bozo Muhammad, they got into it over the pipe dream idea they came up with. And I remember Craig was like, yeah, they arguing over this Mississippi campaign crap. So one day, it was the Nut 7, and it was this girl named Ingrid, and it was the yuck mouth speech impediment of Talib, and they were all talking about, they was all dissing Bozo Muhammad on Craig panel. Now Craig didn't say anything, but he let those guys rock, just dissing Bozo Muhammad. And I actually heard the mental patient say, because I didn't listen to the whole thing, I thought it was stupid. But I actually heard him say that because he invested into into Craig's idea, he will have full control of his stuff. And he will have full control. He will allow who can have airtime and who will not to have airtime. This is what he said. And he even said, well, Bozo Muhammad, he won't get no airtime because I could cut him off and I could show. That's what he said. Because when you're dealing with these Muslim, these NOI nutcases, everybody want to have this what they call this Elijah Muhammad syndrome. They have this Elijah Muhammad. They want to control everything. They want to be the boss of everything. These are powerless Negroes that want to. As soon as they feel they got a little power over something, they want to have full control of everything. So the next day, Craig calls me up crying and he's upset. Oh, the mental patient, that seven wanted to control my stuff. And I told Craig, I said, what I've heard on your panel, I don't want to have nothing to do with that. I don't want to have nothing to do with that. I don't want to have to, because I see where it was going. And I see where it was going because he was trying to turn his idea or his platform into some beefing arena. It will be a beefy arena where he could just use it to attack Pan-Africanism or anybody that he don't like. He's going to use that platform as a bashing channel. And I'm not with that. I'm about empowerment. And it's okay to disagree, but not to bash people. I wasn't about that. It gotten so bad where the mental patient already gave Craig a title called some Mississippi campaign. He gave Craig a title like this Mississippi campaign of information crap or whatever. So basically, he turned Craig into an employee over his own shit. He turned Craig an employee of his own shit. So my advice I gave Craig, aka the crack baby from Michigan, I said my advice to him. I said, you got two choices. Either you give the equipment back to him and rebuy the equipment, and I said I will help you buy it. Because that was the agreement. That was the first agreement. That's what I was willing to do. Or you pay the whole thing off. You just pay his money. Give him the money. Give him the whole $700, $800. Because I don't know what y'all talked about, because that's between you and him. I was out of it. So there was no jealousy on my part, because the mental patient, the third face, mental patient keeps saying that I was jealous, and he said Brother Bakari was jealous. Me and Brother Bakari, we wasn't jealous of that. The only person who was jealous is the one who was trying to take it over, and that was Nut 7, and he knows that. And he can make videos and he can say this and say that, but we already know who was really the realest jealous one, because this motherfucker never had nothing in his life. And he think because he gave a little bit of money, he wouldn't have full control. He says this. Well, since I invested it, I should have full control over it. That's not your shit. You should have just did it. Say, look, I'll buy the equipment and as a gift. As a gift. So the real jealous person is the one who was trying to take it over. I said I didn't want to have nothing to do with it, and I bounced. I bounced. I didn't lose no money. I didn't lose $800. The mental patient, he got suckered into that because you thought that you was trying to take it over. And yes, I'm glad it didn't happen. I'm glad it didn't happen. So we already know who's the real jealous person. I just said I don't want nothing to do with it. So I gave the advice. Either Craig decided to take it or leave it, but it didn't happen. So, and I knew it was going to happen. But it would have happened if he kept it between us. But see, he wants to be, Negroes want to side with stupid people, powerless nobodies, just to end up with nothing at the end. So that's exactly what happened. Like I said, if you're going to tell the story, tell the whole story. You know what I'm saying? So with that said, I'm going to go ahead with this program. Let me see what she said. Stacy said Nut is a turncoat. Yes. Facts. So let's do this. I want to break this up because this was a request. And I want to do this real quick because this was so funny. I'm not going to play the whole through. All right, here we go.
Hey, sir, how you doing?
Peace forever and always, and welcome to another edition of what we call the Realities Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. I am the gatekeeper, the host of this program, known here on social media. Wherever you may find me.
I'm looking at Steven's face. I'm looking at Steven's face like that's it. He already came on there. He already came up and like, this guy's something wrong with him. And look at the other dude. He just laughing. Like, no one takes this guy seriously, man. Like, the only thing you'll find me is your soul. That shit's so funny. This guy's a fucking nut. But Steven's face is priceless. I tagged Steven too. Stevens, whatever his name is. I tagged him. Oh, his face is so priceless right there. Stop, Steven. He's stupid. Steven's stupid. I love it. I love it.
I am known as the mighty Angel Snub 7. I am your soul brother. Number one. I would like to thank everyone for joining us this
Steven, stop. You laughing.
Spontaneous special edition of our program. We have a topic or topics that I normally don't indulge in, but
that's so funny.
I was introduced to some gentlemen on Facebook and certain groups, and like I always say on our platform, I could be wrong. I never say that I'm all knowledgeable. I never say I'm the almighty or nothing like that. I could be in error.
Look at Steve's face.
So I think it is wise that we would give an opportunity for someone to, as they might say, teach us something so that we can learn from one another. And we should have no problem with those things. Actually, we're gonna have to like time this down a little bit because I didn't take in consideration I would have two brothers at the same time, and I think the topic is sort of similar.
Yeah, that's where he got that from. He got that from Don. Don was just an entertainer, you know, and I don't know why he's taking things from Soul Train. I mean, come on, B. Like, that's stupid. I don't get it.
But we can get this, we can probably squeeze this in on this broadcast. I want to first, before we get engaged into our conversation, I would like to spend just a minute to allow these brothers to introduce themselves while they're here and before we get into this conversation. And I guess we'll start with Brother Stephen.
Hi, good evening. What is your name?
My name is Angel Snup 7.
There's no way I'm calling a grown ass man. What is your name?
My name is Khalid.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Khalid.
I love this guy. I love this guy.
Well, I thought I had something to say, but after watching your video, I'm just confused. So I don't know where to even start off.
Laughing.
So maybe you should do a little bit more in explaining your platform.
They just wanted us to introduce ourselves first, so people would know who we talking to.
I'm Stevens. That's who I am.
Yeah, but but Stephen is right. You got to explain your platform. What is your platform? What is your main goal of your platform? He has none. Well, this is your soul brother, Angel Snup 7, and I'm like, yo, what is your platform? What is your platform? What do you do? But he has nothing. He has nothing. You talking about the reality? The reality, what? Everybody got their own personal reality. Everybody got their own personal reality. You know, you can't talk about your experience and say, well, because this happened to me, everybody goes through it. No, that's not that. And you're gonna say that's reality because you got robbed. Well, everybody get robbed. No, that's your reality. You got robbed. I never got robbed. Because you got slapped by a woman, or every man gets slapped by a woman. No, that's you got slapped by a woman. Well, that's reality. No, that's your personal reality. He has no platform.
Okay, Stephen. Then we have Brother Christopher.
Hit that like button. Hit that like button.
Yeah, I'm Christopher. I'm doing pretty well. I'm Christopher. I'm usually the one that's being told I'm gonna get kicked off somebody's Facebook page for having a difference of opinion. So
join the club. All right. Okay. So tonight, the topic or the title that we have chosen is about feminism and how feminism has destroyed or contributed to the destruction of the Black community. That was the main topic, but we're gonna just start off with Brother Stephen. Stevens. I think Stevens.
Doesn't matter. Stephen, Stephen.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna begin with the brother. He wants to, like I told you, we'll give you, whatever you want to say on the subject that you choose, and then we'll talk about that.
Well, that was just my topic. I alluded to you in the email. Right. That Black feminism has significantly contributed to the destruction of the Black community.
Exactly. Yeah. How is that, sir?
You can look at it on many platforms. You can look at it politically. You can look at it socially. You can look at it with gender relations. You can look at it economically. You can look at it as with family structure. I think the most succinct analysis of it is the works of E. Franklin Frazier. He told us this about when he wrote The Black Bourgeoisie. What was that, in the early 80s? It seems like everything from those published writings in his later years have come to manifest themselves. So that would be, the content I would rest on, that sociologist's work.
Who is this? So this is not coming from your mind. This is coming from what you, this is what you are saying from somebody else, a book that you read, correct?
What's coming from my mind?
Can you just quote it?
Wait. Sir, it's called reference, you idiot. He's just referencing, and he just agreed to what he read. And just because you read books doesn't mean you agree to every book you read. You can read something. Now, if somebody did the field work, and that's the reason why I tell people to read people who got PhDs, because most likely they did extensive research. Okay, so you not going to argue with somebody who did. Now, somebody might have different thoughts, different opinions. You have books that's opinion based. Either you agree to it, you don't have to agree to it. Now, he's just referencing a book that he agreed to. Now, we talk about feminism. Feminism was not created by African people, right? It was really for white women who was being oppressed by their white husbands. Okay, that's what feminism came. It came from white women. That's a white woman thing. Unfortunately, you have black people, black women just decide to take part of it and not realizing that not only the black women sisters are being oppressed, but you got black men are being oppressed with the sisters. So yes, it kind of put us in a deeper hole, because we, black men, we already struggling, and now you're gonna put feminism with the black woman, where it's more like it's about her and not about the family, because we are family based. That's a European thing. Feminism is a European thing. The white man, he got everything. So white women feel left out, because white men don't believe in family. They believe in white men should rule. Only white men should rule. But us, we are family based, and that's what Steve, and I'm glad Stevens here brought this up, because he was trying to mention to this nut that, hey, you don't respect family. He's like, this is about family, and I'm glad that he brought that up, because we African people are about family. The black woman can't just say, oh, it's about me and I'm being oppressed. Who's oppressing you? Not black men. Black men are not oppressing you. That's a lie. But when you take on European behavior, it just messes everything. It just throws everything off. Black women should have nothing to do with feminism at all, and always concentrate on the family.
Something from someone.
He referenced.
You don't know who E. Franklin Frazier is?
No,
I know that book.
Idea.
The Black Bourgeoisie. Yeah, I know the book.
You got a link? I can put it up.
I want to know
this guy.
I want to know exactly how. Okay, how does he explain that feminism? How has it disrupted the black? How has it destroyed the black community? First of all, I would like to know what is feminism?
Why are you yelling? You're not? Damn,
No,
I hate to hear you when you are yelling.
I'm just talking. This is my normal voice.
The multivitamin regimen must be awful.
Oh shit.
I'm sorry, I have a hard problem when people raise their voice. I just tune them out. What did you say again? Can you say it
He was asking
more.
You brothers, don't come here playing games. You know, don't do that. Don't do that. I mean,
I'm asking you to repeat your question.
You saying that I'm speaking too loud, so clearly you heard me.
No,
I tune people out when they yell. Sorry.
You tune people out when they okay. What is feminism?
What is feminism? You want my personal definition, or you just want a definition?
No, okay, yes, let's give you your personal definition. I'll work with that.
I don't have a personal definition of feminism. But if you want me to Google what feminism is, I'll tell you that.
No, I don't want you to Google it. I want to know. I already Googled
what feminism is.
How has it destroyed?
Wait. No machine gun questions. One question at a time, dude.
Oh shit!
You asked me what feminism is.
Well, you can't answer what feminism is.
I'm going to give you a definition, and hopefully we can agree on it. I'm going to give you a generic definition.
Whether I agree or not, just what is the definition of feminism?
Well, we're going to have a conversation. We got to have some level of understanding. So
I just want to know your understanding. I'm just going by what you.
My understanding is what Google says. Feminism is a collection of political and social movements that work to achieve equality among the sexes. That's the standard definition of feminism. If you want to abbreviate from there, or you can go from there, you can do that. But I don't have a definition of feminism. Okay. I'm not a dictionary.
All right, now, so how has it destroyed or how has it affected the Black community?
Like I said earlier, you have to break it down in several areas of social and political engagement. I named a few. Do you want to go down them one by one, or how do you want to do this?
However you want to begin.
All right. Well, let's look at the social factors that E. Franklin put out there in his book about liberalism and feminism. I think the most contributing factor of feminism that has helped destroy the Black community is its focus on the woman itself and not the family unit, which in case of the Black diaspora or the Black experience has been exacerbated to the point that we actually have a so-called race community, wherever you call it, where we have two genders literally living different expectations on what is expected of each other, which causes the destruction of the singular family unit, which helps unravel the Black community.
Okay. So what is suggested is that the Black family was together before feminism. It was all right. It was working perfectly fine before feminism. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that at all. That's what you said. I didn't say any of that. I said what I said.
Right, but you said that it unraveled or it interfered with, I guess, traditional family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did.
That's what I said. I don't know what you said.
Exactly. Okay, so you said that it was better when we had traditional family before feminism. So the Black community was just fine before feminism. Because
I wouldn't go that far.
I didn't say that. You said that.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far at all.
That's what you're saying. Why would you jump to such a hasty conclusion?
That's what I'm hearing.
Is that, well, it seems like you're hard of hearing because none of that came out my mouth.
So everything what are you saying?
Everything you said was a hasty generalization.
Clarify what you're saying then to us.
I don't have to clarify. I think it was succinctly, perfectly stated. One of the most glaring contributions Black feminism or feminism has had on the Black community, wherever you want to call it, is the unraveling of the family unit by placing more emphasis on the singular, the woman and the womanhood empowerment, than the whole unit as combined. Okay. That's not where we're coming from.
Right. So in the definition of feminism, where does feminism talk about let us unravel the traditional family unit? Where does it, feminism say that?
Toward the black community, that was the whole thing toward the black community, because they were teaching that we should separate and the women be empowered and on their own while they kept their families together. So that was the whole notion of it. As far as feminism, when it came to black family and nuclear black families. But, they didn't do that for the most part in the beginning when they were pushing feminism to their families. They kept their families together. There was no separation except, and most of it to me was a big money grab anyway, because if you look back to it, there was no purpose of even pushing feminism. None. So now you got all these folks saying, woman independence and all this foolishness, and it only helps people who make money from it for the most part. It doesn't really help any nuclear family now. I can't speak for it back in the 60s and 70s. I mean, I'm a 70s baby, so I was a baby when it was really pushing. But just looking at the history of it and looking at it now, I don't think it worked out for anybody. That's why you got a lot of folk crying about, they push all that female empowerment. Now they're whining, talking about, I want a man. I need a man. I don't want to be alone. It's too late now. You ruined it. And as far as, I don't think, now my personal opinion, nothing against Stephens, my personal opinion, I think lack of education through financial, having your financial anything straight destroyed the black community. We don't create, we consume. We consume now. That never cut off. And if anything, I want to say I blame the church. Certification to be a welder. He's at Burger King trying to get a job.
I'll fast forward some of this stuff.
With a welding certification?
No,
he has his certification. He could MIG and TIG weld, and he was at Burger King trying to get a job. And then you have to look at the algorithm of TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. If you look at, because somebody asked me, said, hey,
with everything that you said, brother Chris. Now, the problem that a lot of men have with me,
God,
because I do agree 100% with what you're talking about.
Everything got to be about him. That's crazy.
When we focus and target sisters, women, because I'm listening to you talk, and we understand what feminism is. And when you understand the definition of feminism, it has nothing to do with what you're talking about. Now, what a person does after they listen to that message, just like in church, what it was just recently, a fella decided to take a truck and run through people in New Orleans. Chances are that's religious influence or whatever. He probably read the Quran and the teachings of ISIS or whatever it is, but they usually justify, religious, the Quran or whatever. That's what he got out the message. I'm supposed to do this. My God backs me up, and that's what he done. So people can take the message of feminism or anything, or racism. You can take those things and make them things into, that person calculate those things and make them into what they want to. Because the definition of feminism, if we look at it, has nothing to do with it. It's just feminism, just like the brother said, very short and simple. It has nothing to do with these things. It's just the ideology of equality for women. And for me, I don't have no problem with it. For me, women don't threaten me.
And feminism basically turned into almost like lesbianism. It became like a pro-woman, all-woman, and this and that, and it just got out of hand. I believe, I definitely agree that, the equality of, from both sexes. But it's but when it comes down to our people, feminism has nothing to do, because both sexes from the same race is going through it, unequal pay, deprived from racial environment, all types of stuff, racism and economically. We both black men and black women is going through it. So it shouldn't never be no feminism on our part. You know what I'm saying? So Black women should stay out of it. So a lot of black women is getting away from the whole feminism crap. But it should never, but that was pushed on our sisters.
Me. Women don't threaten me. See, if you are a man,
this is where
or claim to be
this
a man,
is where he goes off the topic, because now it's all about him and give his speech, and he's kind of like and that's what he does when he start talking. He put people down, and that's when Stephen, he kind of caught on to it. You know, you're not a man. You know, so basically, 1 minute he's saying, well, you know, he's because you're gonna hear him talking about domestic work and slave work, and then but at the same time, he's saying, well, you know, if you're a man, you know, whatever you go, you know, your woman should follow behind you. Hey, if I go, you better go. You're gonna go. But then you talking about women being slaves to men. That doesn't make any sense. So he's flip-flopping. You're going to hear it. Watch.
you are the leader. How does a woman threaten you? What can a woman do to stop you from doing what you need to do? You are the leader. You are the power. The only thing she can do, sit back in the cut and go for the ride. You don't have to drop down to her level. If I turn this car to the right, baby, you going to the right.
So
children going to the right. And dog scruff.
So basically, she's nothing but a slave. Of course, that's like you bossing your woman around. Like nobody. That's like you bullying your woman. But then at the same time, domestic work is domestic work is slave work to the woman. She's nothing but a slave. But then you talking about it's okay to boss your woman around. I didn't understand where he was coming from. It sounds, I don't know, he's flip-flopping.
We going to the right. That's what this man in this country do. When the Caucasian men of this country said we're gonna do this, the women said, how high? We just gonna roll with you.
Look at his face.
You are not, black men aren't in the position to try to be like white folks because you haven't put yourself in that position. You want unearned credit, unearned praise, or unearned following, but you have not done the work to have the respect of a leader. You don't need her. What is it that they always say? If you build it, they will come. We're not building anything. It's not feminism, it's racism. But we're going to say feminism because we're scared of the white boy.
What?
We don't want to challenge the men. Let me talk. Let me speak here. We target feminism. We target women because we're too weak to challenge the men who are in power.
What?
That's why we do that. So it's feminism instead of racism. You're not going to say racism because if you say racism, that means you got to challenge this white guy. And you ain't bad enough. You ain't powerful enough. You don't have enough balls to deal with him. So I'm going to attack a woman, a female, who is just as victim of the system as we are. She don't control nothing. She has no power. She don't do nothing. Everything she get, matter of fact, everything you get, directly or indirectly, comes from the white boy. I don't care how independent business you got.
You see, because this guy Christopher, he was saying that he got his own business or whatever, and this is what this mental patient does. He throw these shots on his guests. You know what I'm saying? But then he expect you to. Then all of a sudden he expect you to come back on his panel. That doesn't work like that. This is the reason why I stopped fucking with this dude. Me and this nutcase, we was never friends. We was never boys. I was introduced. Craig, the crack baby from Michigan, introduced me to this piece of shit. And I'm thinking this guy was genuine. And right there and there, he come off with his dumb shit. He did the same thing with me. And I try to avoid him. And I try to be nice to him. I try to be a brother, but you can't be nice to this dude. This is the reason why he should have on his best supporters, Soul Brother 85 and Twin Pyramid. One of his biggest supporters. And he should have on them. Think about that. He should have on his biggest supporters. Soul 85, Twin Pyramid, Mellow Cat, all those people that used to be on, he should have on all of them. That shit is crazy. That is crazy. But this is what he does. And Steven's face is priceless, man. I love it.
Sit around. I'm not saying you. I'm just saying
you said I'm not saying you.
General. I'm saying in general. Well, actually, it is true because you turn around and pay him taxes, and those taxes pay for the military that'll turn around and whoop you upside your head. The police officers that'll whoop you upside. We paying for our own ass whooping. That's what happened in the 60s. That's what's happening right now. We are the taxpayer, and we pay for our own ass whooping. We pay for our own discrimination. We pay for all these things. But see, the problem is standing up and being men and stop blaming women for this. You know, like you just said something about a cat lady and a dog lady. That don't help our situation. On top of that, brothers love cats. Brothers love dogs. Yeah, you love those animals. But you trying to say,
Steven's
trying to say,
what the fuck is this
you
guy
gonna roll
talking
with
about?
what I say, you're gonna be lonely. So what? These people don't care nothing about being lonely. And there's an old saying, I'd rather be by myself in the company than in the company of a fool. We live in a country that is hypersexualized. Fornication and adultery is legal.
How did it get to this point? Like
people,
he just going way off the topic.
The only thing they know how to do, smoke, drink, and screw. You know that. That's the only thing on their mind. Ask them what book they read. Book? What's that? Is that a video called book? They don't have that. But see, that's our fault as men. Because as men, we should have built our own system where our children don't have to go to the enemy. But you know that.
That is so true, Stacy. He sure did. He did them Dickens dirty. He did them brothers really, really dirty. That's wow. Yeah, you're right. That's so true.
It's teaching that transgender stuff is acceptable. That's natural, and homosexuality and a whole lot of fornication. Had a whole lot of whole other families elsewhere, and this was before feminism. Don't you know? I never seen my grandparents kiss or show affection, and they was married for 50 years. I never seen my grandfather hold hands with my grandmother, whatever. And this is how it was. We talk about traditional marriage. When we talk about traditional marriage, we ignore. Of course, some of them was beautiful, wonderful, but a lot of them was just, I'm there, so I can say I'm married. You know, they're my husband, this is my wife. They both, and folks is miserable for 50 years. It ain't real. And a lot of it wasn't real. How can it be real when, especially during that time when my grandmother was coming up, how could it be real when she know her husband going out messing with all kinds of women? There ain't nothing she could do about it. Just like the slave master. When that white woman, she knew that her husband was going out there messing with them slaves. She knew that them light-skinned babies, that was her husband's baby. There's nothing she could do about it. But if we're going to come up out of here and be men, we can't sit back and blame, oh, the women do this. No, I want to challenge the men in power. If you don't challenge these men in power, these new men coming across the border, brothers, in 10 years, they're going to be knocking your children back down to the bottom. And we've been here for almost 500 years. These new immigrants coming across the border, in 10 years, your children going to be asking, well, your children going to be asking them for a job. Can I have a job, Senor Pedro? because we don't get our act together. And so,
this man could talk his ass.
yes, I don't advocate ratchet behavior. Women messed up. Women are messed up. But from my point of view, you straighten up the man because the man's supposed to be the leader. You straighten him up.
Look at Steven's face.
And all these others will follow behind us. Straighten our own gender. We got brothers on the street right now with the beard and sagging. We scared. We won't even approach them. We scared of them. And you should be scared because you come up to them the wrong way. Look, OG, you better get the hell out of my face and put a gun in your head and blow your brains out. You're scared of them. It's easy to attack women.
Yeah,
and
I agree.
I wouldn't attack some of these women.
Yes, Stacey, I agree.
Because some of them that got robbed,
done with this.
they'll pull out a knife and a gun and blow your brains out.
He's not even listening to him.
What they say, it's easier to catch bees with honey than vinegar. You know, calling people cat lady and
where are we going with
calling
this?
people names and all these. That's not going to help us. Because
even where we going with this?
We just make things worse.
Stop it.
It could be true that she's a 304. It could be true that he's a Pookie and a Ray Ray.
This is
it could be true. But when we approach people like that, because you don't want to be treated like that. You don't want somebody to come to you and calling you out your man, disrespecting you like that, even if it's true. I used to, when I was in the Nation of Islam, I used to go to, and I didn't even know it, because I was shielded from this stuff. I used to go to houses of prostitution. I didn't even know. I didn't even know who.
See, right there, he's telling on himself. This man used to pick up hookers. How are you not gonna know? How are you not gonna know you in a crack house and all that stuff? How are you not gonna know? That means you participated in that. There's no way in hell, even when I was a young cat, I knew about certain things and stay away from certain things. I knew about the crack house and there was prostitution. I've seen that stuff. But now he's telling on himself, yeah, I didn't know I was in. I didn't know, I was in a place with prostitution. I didn't know. Yeah, you knew. You participated. You experimented. I hate this self-righteous talk from this Negro. He's always making it seem like he's so perfect and he thinks he's gonna go to heaven because he didn't drink, he didn't smoke, he didn't have sex. Well, not with a woman, because according to Leah Muhammad, he didn't have sex with her. She said he couldn't get it up. He was impotent. That's what she said. So if you can't get it up with a woman, that means you probably can get up with a dude. But then he had Talib over to the house. You had Talib over the house for over a month. What the hell y'all two doing in that small apartment? What y'all was doing? I don't know. They look pretty close. So Talib came to see you, but Sister Noble didn't come see you? And then he said that he went to Sister Noble's house. Sister Noble had him sleep in another room. They didn't even sleep together. So what that tells you? But he's going way off topic. And you hear say, where are we going with this? Steven said, where are we going with this?
What they was. But I treated the sisters and their Johns. I just brought the Muslim newspaper. How you doing, brother? You listen to Elijah Muhammad, blah, 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 blah. I've never called people out their names or whatever because I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. So I just want to encourage people to do better by my example because I come from the same place. I come from the same doo-doo place, the same ghetto, the same place that you are. I'm not better than you.
He said, I want people to do his example. So it's all about him. He's the perfect. He's the Messiah. He's Jesus, right? I want people to follow me. And look what I did. Look, I was in a mental crazy house for 10 years. And see, I read books to get myself out of this situation. I read books to get and if you follow my example, you follow me. I'm the new Jesus. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm not smarter than you. but we can do this. That's where I come from. I don't like talking about women. Women, the sisters, when you get these women on board, and maybe none of you have experienced this, but I have experienced this. When women get on board with you, you just don't know what kind of power you got. When we talk about the Black Panther Party, don't you know it was women that backed that party up?
I'm gonna skip some.
When you talk about Dr. King, it was women behind that. Said, so-and-so said, what do you say? What do you discover? You don't have a brain?
Oh, let me go back.
So-and-so, these books for young girls and older women. Because when I was coming up, I was taught to be a gentleman. I still open doors for women, whether they like it or not. Matter of fact, I even do it for the brothers. And people are like, what are you doing that for? Just, that's being kind to another human being. We used to be like that at one time. We wasn't perfect, but when I was growing up, we used to do that for each other at one time. Help somebody with their groceries going to the car and things in that. We used to be kind to, now it's you this and cussing and people think that they're better than somebody. We're not going to get nowhere like that. And like you said earlier about the unity thing, you can't unite with nobody when we have these behaviors. You're not gonna get nowhere this way. So we read all these books. I stopped reading books. You know why I stopped reading books?
So he said he stopped reading books. He said he stopped reading books. You never stop reading. How do you get through life? How do you learn? But you read books that you get yourself. So wait a minute, you stopped reading books, but you read books to get you out the mental institution, according to what he's saying. You stop reading books. People can read books. You rather read books. You don't want to read books, but you could be on YouTube and listen to gossip. That's sad. But you want to gossip. You rather look at YouTube and listen to a lot of pseudoism instead of going and reading a book to find out the truth. Okay.
I stopped reading books because it took me from myself.
Steven said,
you know why I stopped reading books? Because it took me from myself.
Steven said, oh shit.
When you read books, that's somebody else's ideas. That's somebody else's life. That's somebody else's research. That's somebody else's thought. That's somebody that belongs to somebody else. Regurgitate. What do you think?
What?
People, well, you know, the Bible said, the Quran said, no, what do you say?
What is he talking about? Like, dude, like, what are you talking about? Well, what do you say? So if I turn around and say, well, if the book's saying, well, the sky's blue, then I turn around, well, I don't think the sky's blue. I think the sky's pink. So that's all. So my opinion is always is matters. This guy said he don't read. How are you not gonna? You don't read, and this is the reason why this dude said a lot of dumb shit, because he's not educated. That means that you just letting the world know that you're not educated. Everything is based on belief. What do you think? Not what do you know. What do you think? Not what do you know. It's a big difference between thinking and knowing. Wow. And see Steven's face? You see the difference between someone who's educated and someone who's not? His face. Look at his face. Look at Steven's face.
So-and-so said, what do you discover? You don't have a brain? You don't have 5 fingers, 10 toes like this person? What makes them so special that their research and everything they say is so great and you can't do it on your own?
Reading is fundamental.
Because
that's a reason to stop reading? Wait, I know you said not.
Yeah, you got to cut him off at this point.
I know you said not to interrupt.
Yeah, no, you got to cut him off at this point.
But
yeah.
that's a reason to not read?
I will still read. No,
what are you reading if you're not reading?
Word, that's what I want to know.
Let me clarify. I will read. But I don't do it and allow that to become part of my mind. I can
What?
think for
What the
myself.
fuck
I don't
is he
need
talking about?
You will read, but you won't
I don't need
comprehend.
that.
Is that?
I comprehend very well.
Say what you just said again.
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
I can show you papers to the Supreme Court. They understand. I can write papers all the way to the United States Supreme Court.
Just say what you just said again. Just repeat what you just said. You will read, but you won't what?
Wait, I gotta rewind. Let's rewind what he said. Let's break it down.
They understand. I can write papers all the way. You know why I started reading books? Because it took me from myself. When you read books, that's somebody else's ideas. That's somebody else's law. That's somebody else's research. That's somebody else's thought.
He said it took him from. He said because he read, it took him from himself. Now, he's talking about maybe the Quran or the Bible. He's not talking about anything like as far as reading about, you know, how reading about self-defense, reading about, you know, economics. So reading anything that's tangible, that you could do things, you know, tangible. He's talking about the Bible and the Quran. Nobody's not talking about that. He said it took him away from himself, but he never gave an example. Well, he did give an example. He said the Quran, but people, that's not, you cannot compare the Quran or the Bible to other books. He said that's somebody else's research. So what's the difference? So let me say this. Let me ask this mental patient sucker a question. If I wanted to learn how to fix a car or learn how to change the tire on a car, so I just do it, just try to do it on my own and risk getting hurt or risk getting injured or risk destroying my car, or I go on YouTube or get a read something from read a book about it and do it and do it properly. So what's the difference? So I can't go on YouTube to see how it works because that's somebody else's work. I gotta just go and fix a car just blindly and risk destroying my car and risk getting injured. It doesn't make any damn sense. And this is the reason why people don't want to deal with. I don't want to deal with a dummy. That don't make no sense. And even Stefan, he's like, yo, this guy, he sees it.
That's somebody that belongs to somebody else. Regurgitate. What do you think? People, well, you know, the Bible said, the Quran said, no, what do you say? So-and-so
But that's
said,
different.
What do you say?
That's different. That's religion based. That's different. There's a lot of stuff with, you know, when you become a thinker, you'll be like, well, that doesn't make any sense. The Bible doesn't make any sense because those are stories. Those are fairy tales. We're not talking about fairy tales. We're talking about things that's going to help you get through life. How you deal with how do you deal with racism? How do you deal with certain things? How do you think? If you want to learn the basic things out of life? They don't teach you how to in school. They don't teach you how to do accounting. They don't think, you know, how do you write a check? I wasn't taught that in school. I learned that later on in life. But these are the things that's more important, not no Bible and no Quran. That's stories. Some of those stories doesn't make any sense. But that's what he brings up because he's thinking like a Muslim. He's not thinking like a businessman or something like that. He's not thinking that on that level. So that's why it doesn't make it, what he's saying doesn't make any sense. You're gonna stop reading because of the Bible and Quran. That doesn't make any sense. And see, that is a bad way. And this is what I'm saying about listening to these dummies on YouTube, because they, you know, kids might be watching this and him saying, you know, don't read books. You know, you're a bad example as an adult. You're a bad example as an adult. You telling someone who might be younger than you, books is not necessary. Getting education is not necessary. Learning how to do things is not necessary. Now, there's one thing about reading the Bible and the Quran, because that's dealing with religion. But what about the other books? Other tangible books that teach you how to do things, and even if it's how to change a tire or fixing a pipe from your sink. I mean, that's bad. And see, oh my God, it looks bad. That's a bad message to tell people. Because basically, what you're telling people, education is not important.
And what did you discover? You don't have a brain. You don't have 5 fingers, 10 toes like this person. What makes them so special that their research and everything they say is so great, and you can't do it on your own? Because
that's a reason to stop reading. Wait. I know you said not. I know you said not to interrupt people, but that's a reason to not read.
No,
what are you reading if you're not reading books?
Facts.
What are you reading?
Clarify. I will read. I will read, but I don't do it and allow that to become part of my mind. I can think for myself. I don't need you.
You will read, but you won't comprehend. Is that, you're saying you will read, but you won't comprehend?
I comprehend very well.
Say what you just said again.
I can show you papers to the Supreme Court. They understand. I can write papers all the way to the United States Supreme Court.
Say what you just said again. Just repeat what you just said. You will read, but you won't what?
But I'm not going to allow that to become part of me, because
so
I can think for myself.
You won't read. You won't read to comprehend.
No, I can comprehend.
What does comprehend mean to you? What does comprehend mean to you?
Information.
What does comprehend mean to you? What does comprehend mean
to understand? Understanding something.
So you'll read, but you won't read to understand?
But I understand. You understand. Not your personal.
Stop it.
You understand that
you get this guy confused right now. Go ahead, Stephen.
Is that what's going on?
You want to play the stupid game? You can play that. I told you.
We here.
See, this is the attitude.
You were there at the
this is the attitude with this man. This Stephen guy. This is the attitude. This is the reason why we can't get nowhere. Smart aleck, old ass Negro that think he know it all. You come here, you know it all, but you quote from somebody else's book. Who the hell is Stephen? Who is this John L. Franklin person that you talking about? See, this brother here,
boy, that
gets
emotional right
there. A damn thing spoke from his heart, from his mind. You come here, soon as you come here, well, from what I read from John L. Franklin Jr., who the hell is John L. Franklin and Jr.? You don't even have a mind of your own.
Made that up. It might be somebody you really comprehend. The way you talk.
That's the problem with many of us on social media. When I conversate with them, they are regurgitating from somebody else. And if that person isn't around in order to explain what they're talking about, then they lost. You couldn't even explain what feminism is.
So you just explained yourself the last 15 minutes? You just explained
Go
yourself.
Ahead, I'll give you a shot. I'm gonna be quiet. Go ahead, talk.
Well, I got nothing but questions at this point. My first question is,
no, you don't need no
what type of Marcus Vitamin regimen are you on? Because I don't know how the hell you got this type of energy this time of night. I need to get on your
you're smarter than everybody. Come and teach. Go ahead. That's why I brought you here.
I probably am smarter than you if you said you read, but you don't read. I've never heard that before. That's wild.
Yeah, I never heard that before.
You don't
read. We're going to sit back and cut and teach me.
I don't think you're in a position to be taught.
No, he's not.
I think you want to hear yourself.
Yeah.
Which is cool. But perhaps the best part, can I speak? I tried not to interrupt you, but let me know when I can speak. I'll wait.
No, go ahead. That's why you was here. Go ahead. Say what you got to say.
I think this is cathartic for you, but After listening to you ramble, I think everyone's dumber from listening to you.
Facts. That's so true.
I think you need therapy.
Yeah.
I think you
agree.
think you know it all.
This man ain't talking.
Oh shit!
This man ain't talking about nothing.
I ain't
This
talking
man
about
ain't
nothing.
come and teach me. Come and teach us something. Okay, I need therapy. Now,
how old are you?
I need therapy. I need therapy.
How old are you?
Teach us.
How old are you? I just got nothing.
That don't have nothing to do with conversation. Teach
how old
us.
are you? How old are you?
I didn't ask you how old you are.
I'm 46. How old are you?
Don't have nothing to teach.
Can I say something, gentlemen?
No, I don't.
Can I say something, gentlemen?
Not. I just got questions, dude.
Go ahead, bro.
Going from what you were saying earlier, and he's doing recycling and he's doing delivery. Everybody got he can't tell me what to do, but he need to be able to lead. I mean, all of it is ridiculously crazy. So we need you up, and I'm telling you, if you ain't got no dad in the home, and I'm telling you, you're not a boy, you're a girl, you won't keep having kids.
People, okay. But as I turn around and when I do see the
I got a cock in my mouth. I can't stand. I don't even.
So-called FBA brothers here, you know.
I can't.
Out here. You know, I mean, we could try to work with the woman as much as we can, but at the end of the day, if she don't want to change,
God, this guy, everything is a fucking
where,
Unwed children over our heads.
Yes.
And you can do a lot of things, you can do a lot of leadership, but you can't control how people make. But I think if just men in general, but black men had something they could take, even some type of pill that they were sure that was reversible when they were ready to have a family, I think overnight the sway feminism has on us would just drop.
I mean, I think I agree with you. I know they came out with something like that, and I think it made a lot of guys sterile when they first came out with that. Mm-hmm. I think if women, somebody said this and it had me laughing really hard when they said,
I mean, so
qualify
because you have a penis. Just because you have a penis, you qualify to be a leader. You know,
this guy, he's always talking about penises. I noticed that this guy's always talking about the big black penis. What is up with that? Like something ain't right with that. Like who talks like that? You know, he's always talking about the big penis. Yo, that
you are an automatic husband. You're all these beautiful, fantastical things because I was born with a penis. I got a penis.
I missed that one.
I missed that one.
I agree.
It don't work that way.
I don't think like that at all.
But I agree. It does.
I mean, but you have this thinking that just because you have a penis, the man's the head of the household. But you're a fool. You know, you're a fool. Now, from my perspective, who is the most competent should be head of the household. During the crack epidemic, you had wives and husbands that was crackheads in the house. And then you had a lot of children turn out to be using crack and end up in foster care and all like that. Oh, but the man is the head of the household. Matter of fact, from my experience, I saw a lot of men was the cause of women drinking and drugging. Oh, come on, baby. Take a little smoke. I've seen it with my own eyes. I don't do that. Men cause the women to do those things. So here we are in a situation. We don't have the strategy of a bird. Because what do birds do? Birds build a nest.
They marry before they.
I gotta fast forward.
Domestic work.
Okay. Here. Oh yeah, that's when he talk about.
I mean, she got to be working.
Well, the traditional marriage, that's what they done.
Right.
Traditional marriage, she sat back in the cut, and he made the $100,000. The only thing she did, sit back, and she basically was a housekeeper and took care of the children, whatever. Basically, she was a slave. Because they even call,
I don't agree with
what
that.
do they call women's work?
I don't agree
What
with
do
that.
they call women's work?
Yeah. I mean, her purpose is to help build that man. She'll help me.
Yeah, I think feminism equated that.
Yeah, she'll help me. She can't be a helpmate if she's sitting on her behind. So in order for her to help him build, she gotta be helpful in that regard. Now if she's sitting around, being a slave. I mean,
let me make this. Let me before I lose my train of thought.
Okay.
They call woman's work domestic work.
Oh my God.
Domestic work. Meaning slave work.
Oh my God.
No,
that's not true.
Domestic doesn't mean slave. Domestic means domestic.
It means
slave work.
Those are two totally different definitions.
Way
what are you
totally
talking
different.
about?
Her word. Hold your point. Let me make my point.
Prove your point.
Because that's what it is.
No, prove
you
your
go
point.
out here and do all the work. It's slave labor. It's slave labor.
Wait.
And that's what
you're running away now. You're running away now. Prove that domestication equals slavery.
What do you know what equality is? Because that's what it is.
Now you're all over the place.
Domestic work. A domestic work is a person who works within the residence. Who works. They didn't say nothing about slavery. Say it works. That means that anybody that works, they get paid for it. Their residence or performs a variety of household services for an individual for providing cleaning and household maintenance, or cooking, laundry, ironing, a care of children, elderly, dependents, and other household errands. So it could be a housekeeper, it could be a maid, or it could be it could be a wife. But that's domestic work. That has nothing to say anything about slavery. So I don't know where he get that from. That's what he believes, because what you think is what you believe. It's a belief.
Domestic, no, I'm not over that. Domestic or domestication, to enslave.
Your friend.
All the food that you eat, is domesticated.
That's stupid.
Wait.
Enslaved for the purpose of human consumption. All the banana that you eat is not the original banana.
Vegetables?
It was enslaved.
He's saying the people who do the domestic work are slaves. That's what he's saying.
You're saying
slavery.
Back up
it's
a little.
Another word
for got me real confused. You got me real
confused.
I
know you don't like this. I know you don't like it. I know you don't like it.
I'm trying to understand where you're coming from.
Now
we're talking about bananas and shit. Like, where the hell did we?
Passport brother been going on before Passport Bros even touched it. That's been going on forever. Men was leaving Vietnam and going back to Vietnam and Taiwan and getting wives. That's an old trope. It just only became a big thing when black folks started doing it in droves and they started calling the Passport Bros. But that's an old movement. Them going to Vietnam and Taiwan it's got to be 30, 40 years old. So that's
this guy's all over the place.
It's unnatural behavior because
it's more black. It's more Chinese mixed black women in Taiwan and the Philippines and anywhere.
And you have become influenced by this environment. You are part of the matrix, and you don't see that in yourself.
The matrix.
And what is wrong? What is wrong with women wanting equality? What is wrong with that? Equality only means
they wouldn't be able to handle it for the most part if they got it. They wouldn't be able to handle it if they got it.
There's a difference between. No, you have a role.
Wait, you asked the question. Can we answer it?
Why you don't want a woman to be a truck driver?
Oh my God. I
don't want a woman to be a truck driver.
Damn,
really do.
We're not tripping about that.
It's a lot of women
hell
that
you
show
talking about?
problems.
Okay, so why you don't want her to be called head of household?
Because a
you
lot
got
of
a
times,
penis?
No, because a lot
But
of
you got
times
a penis?
Nah, they stay losing their
because she's
penis
too
word.
emotional to handle that
Jesus.
job. I've seen that personally in
Who
multiple families.
more emotional than, look at the emotion that has been expressed on this
you have
broadcast
right
right now, boss.
I didn't hear that.
I'm just being me. I'm just being me, bro.
I'm just being me, bro.
I'm just being me.
You're really
Plus, a
emotional.
lot of
That's
young
good.
ladies want to pick and choose, want to be head of the household. They don't want to. We'll be head of the household the whole time.
They
But
don't
a lot of women
understand.
want to pick and choose
Look.
when to be head of household.
See,
You
this
can't be
is a
head of
whole different
household and
ballgame.
then be mad when things don't work out in your favor. So
Well, see, this is the thing about it. You have to build your own environment and create your own roles.
Have you done that?
And
Have
what
you
people
done
are
that?
gonna do.
Have you done that?
No, we have not done that.
No, you.
No, we have
Have you
not
done
done
that? Have you done that?
No, I have
What's your
not done
family
that.
situation? What's your family? Are you married?
He was.
It's not got to do with anything.
Oh shit! Are you married? That's
The
all
only
I
one
need
that
to
you,
know.
the only one that's talking crazy, the only one that's talking all outside the, I'm whatever. But then I know that you don't have nothing to offer because you need somebody else to speak for you. You don't have
Right,
no, you don't have no
I read.
mindset.
I get it. I read. So I'm wrong.
Yeah, you read
Are you
somebody
married?
else's brain.
don't be mad.
You read somebody
Don't be mad.
else.
I get jumped on for reading too. So don't be mad.
Are you married? Are you married? Are you
It
married?
ain't got to do with anything.
Because we're talking about
Are you
marriage.
married?
I've been married since I was
No,
19
I'm talking
years
about
old.
equality.
You gonna let me speak?
I'm talking
You
about
gonna-
equality.
You gonna let me
Means
speak?
equality means
Are you gonna?
no. Had your time.
First of all,
Had-
I need your multivitamin. Your multivitamins off the hook. So I'm just going to start speaking over you until you meet me at this point. Because at this time, only thing that can happen is
You
that
ain't
your
talking
shirt
about
is
nothing.
hot
And you ain't
because your
nothing.
head's getting
You
tight.
have nothing.
So I asked you a question with
Conversation.
next trigger.
You don't have
You must
you
have a
have no
horrible family
mindset.
life.
That's
You're
the
already
problem.
taking your
right
mom
there.
and dad into it.
All those
So I'm just
guys
asking
in
you a
those
good
woman
question.
hating group.
Are you
It's like this
married?
guy.
Are you married?
No.
No. Oh, you're really mad. Have you ever been married? Have you ever been married?
No.
No.
Well, let me tell you
No.
my situation. Can I tell you my situation?
I don't care about your situation. That's not what this topic is about.
I see. Don't make
What
it.
you
Don't
want
let it
about
make your
me
head
personal?
explode, baby. Don't pop the button on your neck. We don't need a
I don't like your attitude. I don't like your attitude. You pissing me off.
What do you want to do
I don't
about
like
it?
your attitude. You think
What do you want to do about it?
you smarter? You think you
Look
better?
at Chris Boy. He's just,
And you don't know
Yeah,
nothing. You ain't
after
brought
listening
nothing
to
to the
you an hour, I
conversation.
do think I'm smarter and better than you.
You ain't brought nothing.
he said, I know.
My situation, you talk.
I don't want to hear that nonsense. I don't have time. I only have a few minutes
Now,
left.
Chris Boy, he
anyway.
gonna bounce
I don't have
too.
to hear that
Chris is
nonsense.
gonna bounce too. He's like, I ain't gonna be
Pissing me
stuck.
off.
I ain't gonna be stuck here with this nutcase.
Pissing me off.
Well, I thank you for letting me come on, man.
Yeah, Chris
I
was about to
appreciate you letting me
bounce
come
too. He
on, and
said,
I
"Shit, I
gotta
ain't
go
gonna be
too.
stuck
But
here
I
with this
think if you want to do it again, man, I'll be more than willing to come on the page.
All right. I mean, Brother Chris, you had a good conversation. I like what you. I'm pretty sure even the chat room, they recognize your intelligence, and that's the way we want. You want to. I mean,
I ain't gonna be
it was a
stuck here by
wonderful
myself with this
conversation.
nutcase.
You know, this guy here took me off of what I want. I mean, he's not bringing nothing to the conversation.
It happens.
See, what I wanted to do, bring you guys on the platform and let you say, take your time and let you teach us. But you know, we had a discussion instead of teaching. We had a discussion. You were able to discuss, and you were able to articulately, present to us your thoughts, whether we agree or disagree.
Right.
And that's wonderful. This man here from the very beginning, was messed up. I tried to maintain my composure. And if you look at some of my other videos, I sit back in the cut and let people talk. But you're not going to come here and disrespect me on my platform. Okay, I brought your ass here. You say you had something to say, then come here. Don't have nothing to say. He's not the first one, Brother Chris. there's guys that come here, so they got all this to say, then they get here. Benjamin Franklin said, you know, I've been invited on programs, and I speak mine, I hold mine, because I am me. I'm not quoting from no books. I don't have to put books behind me and talk about all the books I read and all like that. When I talk about, I don't read like that no more because it's not necessary. I'm reading all these books, what you're producing, with all this knowledge and understanding that you're getting. What is it producing for you? You're reading all these books. When we start producing something from what we're reading, then I can understand. Read some more, read some more. You ain't done nothing with the knowledge that you got or you had. Keep reading and reading.
How would he know?
Because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel smart.
I don't understand.
Then when you come in front of somebody like me that don't give a damn about your reading, there's a problem. Because those not your thoughts anyway. That's somebody else's thought.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, sir, I thank you for letting me come on and I gotta go. So I thank you for letting me come on and yes, please hit me up again. I'll be happy to come on your show.
All right, we're gonna skip some of this.
Y'all have a good night, brothers.
I sure hope so, brother. You brought a lot of enlightenment. Thank you, brother.
He kissing butt now. He kissing butt.
You're quite welcome. I'm happy to help. Yes. All right, gentlemen.
All right.
Well.
He said nobody won't let him talk. Okay, go ahead and talk. He said,
can I talk now? Can I talk now?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I said I got under your skin. Here's the thing. Yeah, when I asked you if you were married, you got mad scared, and you didn't even let me continue. You're talking about all this building. You ain't even build a family unit your whole life. So can I tell you my situation? You want to let me do that?
That's not the topic. I don't care about the rest of the situation. The topic is how did feminism?
Oh, now that's the topic. Now that's the topic. But when I tried to get in your ass and show you how incompetent you were, talking about all this leadership, you never even led a family. You in your 60s, you never been married. Where do you get the moral justification to tell me about anything? I've been married since I was 19 years old to the same lady.
What?
Right.
What's that got to do with
you? It has to do feminism. With you are incompetent telling people how to build when you can't even build a family. That's what it has to do.
Everything starts from home.
What that got to do with anything? A family in the white man's house. Big deal. You want to clap? You built a family in the white man's house under his rules with your family sticking out, his big leg down your throat.
Family. You're talking about units.
You don't run nothing. Family. What kind of family you got? You deserve the right. If it wasn't for the white man, you wouldn't have nothing. Show me what's in your house, Mr. Family Man. Show me what's in your house that you built. And the white man didn't give
I literally built 1/3 of my house. If you add all the
you ain't built nothing. Where you get the bricks from? Where you get the wood from? Where you get the electricity from? Where you get the rubber from? Where you get the hammer from? Where you get the nails from? You ain't do nothing. You're the white man's thing.
So
you belong to him.
So where's your house? Are you in the basement? Right? Are you a homeowner? Are you a homeowner?
The white man. No difference what I am.
It doesn't.
Nobody don't. If you don't pay taxes, nobody own no home in America. So get that right.
So let me get this straight. You're disqualifying people maintaining families, even though you
don't have no family. You're a slave on a plantation. You're a slave on a plantation. You don't have no family.
That button on your shirt is a slave that needs to escape.
The white man correct you right now.
That top button on your shirt is a slave that needs to escape. It needs to be free.
He said Angel lost in the debate. There's no debate.
Yeah.
What are we debating about?
Because I asked you if you were married. You talking about all this nation building. I asked you if you're married. You flipped the fuck out. I just asked if you were ever married. What
got to do with anything?
We talking about nation building.
What that got to do with anything?
I knew you weren't married because
you ain't building no nation.
So I knew that was happening.
You live in another man's house.
And you're living in another man's house.
That's right.
You. And so are you married? And so are you, but at least I'm married and have a unit. What do you have?
A unit of what? It don't mean nothing.
Oh, marriage doesn't mean anything no more? Marriage doesn't mean nothing. Marriage doesn't mean anything. Oh, wow.
What do it mean?
It means that you're broken and sunken.
For
and
you.
You're mad because someone's calling you out.
Because you probably a bully. You probably bully your wife.
You can't even have a family. You don't even have a woman. You don't even have a woman leading you, and you're talking about men need to lead. What are you talking about? You're in your 60s. You never had a woman say, "Okay, you can lead me." Are you crazy? Well, I know that.
No, I don't have. I don't have slaves.
Uneducated.
No, I don't have slaves. I don't want slaves. I don't have slaves.
You don't have a wife.
You the one that wants slaves. You want to be like the white man, but you ain't bad enough. You're not bold enough to be like him. You cowardly, incompetent, and you can't build like him.
But I still got a family.
He loved the white guy. He loved the white man. So
a family that needs a white man.
He definitely got the white man's penis in his mouth.
You got the white man's dick in your mouth. That's what you got. I've got a family over here, nation building, and you're just talking shit. Where's your family? It hurts, doesn't it?
Where's
the pain in your eyes?
Yeah,
where's your family?
It hurts because it don't mean nothing.
It hurts because it doesn't mean nothing. Just like you read. Yeah.
Oh,
it hurts because it doesn't mean nothing. Just like you read, but you don't comprehend.
You a man, and everything you got, the white man gave it to you.
It does hurt to watch, Regal. So white man gave me a wife. Why didn't the white man give you a wife? Why did the white man think you were too incompetent to have a wife? That's on a white man too.
Oh, you brought you some reinforcement? Who the hell is a Regal?
Regal is someone laughing his ass off because you're talking about nation building and you've never been married. The only thing you're married to is the plaque on your teeth.
Woo, you're a funny dude, right?
Yeah, I know I am.
Hey, the black about hey, you're funny. Hey, you're a funny dude. You should be on the comedy circuit.
You know what thinks I'm funny?
My
wife.
Hey,
who thinks you're funny?
Your wife?
Who thinks you're funny?
Yeah.
I know you weren't married because I saw your editing. So there's no woman behind you.
What other jokes you got? Oh, the plaque on my teeth.
You ready?
You ready?
You ready for him?
Talk about the plaque on my teeth. Yeah, come on. Come on. Let's keep talking about the plaque on my teeth.
You look like you beg your nieces and nephews to help you edit your videos.
We're not serious no more. We want to talk about the plaque on my teeth. Come on, man. Come on, talk about the plaque on my teeth.
It's your whole general composition that you're such a hypocrite. Here, I did
a program on that.
Take it.
These guys are mad because
all right, here you go. Let me start over talking to you. You're such a hypocrite talking about nation building.
You're not a man.
You've never been married. And when someone asks you if you're married, you act like a little bitch. Like it doesn't mean anything. You talking all this shit. You got the reality simple on earth internet ministry, the divine master.
You're not a man.
But you don't got no wife. You don't got no wife. You don't got no daughters. You don't even got bitches.
You don't got no bitches. He can't even keep a woman.
You don't got no side chicks.
Yeah, son.
No hoes.
No, I don't.
No nothing.
No, I don't have.
You up here just big mad.
I don't have none of that.
But you
I don't have no slaves.
You nation building.
I didn't say nothing about nation building. Did I say anything about
but not comprehending? You reading but not comprehending.
No, let's go back to the plaque on my teeth.
5 minutes thinking you done, but you're not, son.
Yeah,
it's got a whole lot of brushing to do. You gotta get those gums, you gotta get the back of that mouth, you gotta get all that shit.
There you go.
Really legit.
Yeah.
Because you can't say shit
to
me.
Bring it. I know that. Come on, bring it, babe. Yeah, you've been married. I know. Come on, bring it. Come on, talk to us, man. I know. Come on, talk to us. Talk about your marriage. Come on.
You banning everybody who's ripping you right now online. I see that.
Come on, talk.
You're a bitch. You banning everybody who's ripping you online.
Oh yeah, come on, yeah, I know.
Well, you're still banning them.
Yeah,
you ban legal, you ban male gossip. You now.
I know. Come on.
You can't say shit about anything, man, because you're not married.
Come on, teach us.
You got no weight.
No, come on, I know.
You got no pool.
Right.
You don't know
nothing about me.
You got nothing of that.
I know that. I know
you have a woman follow you. You're 60
I
plus
sure
years
don't.
old, and you've never been married.
No, I'm
Nobody wanna hear
70.
shit with you
I'm
say.
70.
Ain't nobody
70.
following your leadership.
No, it sure not.
You
This
feeling
guy's a
everything but a
grown-ass
toothbrush.
kid, dude.
You
Damn,
feeling
son.
everything but a
Yeah.
dentist
That's crazy.
and a therapist.
I know. Yeah. You're right. Okay. What else you
How
got?
old are you? How old are you? How old are you?
70, 71,
Oh, my
71.
This motherfucker is 71 years old. Never been
Yeah.
married.
Never
Are
been
you
married.
serious? And you talking about nation building? What the
I'm
hell have you been
71.
doing the last? Yeah, he's
In
banning
jail.
you. Yeah, he's banning
In
you.
jail. In jail. That's where I've been. I've been in
You
jail.
can't get someone. That's usually the best
I've been
place
in
brothers
jail.
get wives in jail. All those brothers be
But I
having
didn't.
wives. What the hell were you doing?
I know that. I don't know. I failed. Talk to me, man. Talk to me.
You failed, so
You
you
got
can't
the wisdom.
come in here in your 70
That's right.
years
I
of
sure did.
complete
I
failure
failed.
talking about nation building,
Right.
telling
I'm
other
in
men what
jail.
they need to do.
I'm 71 years old. Never been
You're
married.
71 years old who
12
doesn't
years
read.
in jail. And don't read. You're right. What else you
You
got?
didn't go to jail
Come
for
on,
selling
man.
toothbrushes.
Don't-
I know that
Yeah,
much.
I went to
That wasn't the crime.
I went to jail. What? Damn, you bring a lot of what you call it?
Mm.
They don't get a chance to write on the timeline.
Because I'm ripping your ass, and you
I know
Boy,
that.
you get a lot
Yeah,
of
I know
hate,
you
boy. I
ripping.
tell you.
I
You gotta
know
get a
you
lot of hate.
ripping. Come on, you keep ripping. What else you got to say? Okay, I'm 71 years old, never been married. I've been in jail for 12 years. Okay, my teeth got plaque on it. What else do the people need to know?
Okay, you gonna let me say? You gonna interrupt it? You gonna let me say or interrupt it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody touched you real bad, and you need to get some therapy.
Oh boy, here we go.
So that's what this is about. You shouldn't be this angry at 70. You shouldn't be this angry at 70.
How feminism?
Oh, 70, you're supposed to be cruising on your attitude.
This
You're supposed to
man
be
ain't
cruising.
said
You're supposed to
nothing.
be cool as a cucumber at
This man
70.
has not said nothing. I'm just joking around. I don't have no. Matter of fact, I'm in the cold. My heat went out. My heat went out because I didn't pay the bill.
Was that why that button's so tight? Is that why that button's so tight on your neck?
Yeah, because I'm cold.
Yeah.
Because I'm cold.
Yeah.
I'm
It
cold.
would be nice if you had a wife to rub your feet or something, but you don't get none of
Yes,
that.
it should. I don't have. Can I use your wife?
Huh?
Can I use your wife?
That's
You
my
ain't saying
call.
shit 'cause
Can
you
I
wouldn't
use
see
your
me in
wife?
person.
Can I use your wife? Hey man, can I use your wife?
You only say it because you ain't seen me in person. I'll slap the shit out of you.
Hey, bring your wife here.
Mm-hmm.
Bring your wife here. Bring her here. Let us see it. You sure look lonely.
My wife should be the age of your daughter. You like molesting children? Because that's what it sounds like.
Hey, oh, you said your wife? You molesting children?
You're molesting
you say
children.
you molesting
my wife is your my wife
I
should
don't
be your
have
daughter's
I
age.
don't have nobody. Make up your mind. First you said I don't have nobody. Now you say I'm molesting somebody. Make up your mind. Do I have somebody or not?
If you are interested in my wife, you're a certified child molester.
Yeah, I'm very interested in your wife. I bet you I could take your wife.
Oh shit.
Okay.
I bet I could take your wife.
Hey, oh my God.
Why is he getting respectful to the man? Because I'm whipping his ass, Larry. I'm whipping his ass.
Bring her here.
This motherfucker's talking about
bring her
nation
here.
builders never been married.
Oh, he been married.
This
bring her here.
motherfucker's talking about nationhood
Hey,
and never been married.
Hey, bring her here. Hey,
Sorry, Larry. You were banned too because so you're just gonna ban everybody. So you're just gonna ban everybody as I rip your ass?
Let's hear her voice. You don't have no wife. You don't have no wife. You're a liar. Let's hear her voice. Tell her to say hi. Tell her to say hi. Let's hear her voice. You don't have no wife. You don't have no
Nah,
children.
so you can jerk the fuck off, you child molesting little.
Yeah, I sure do.
He was a pedophile, so I don't know.
Nah, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I sure am. I sure am.
You are a joke. I'm talking about
But I
nation
still-
building.
Hey,
Noop is a fraud,
Hey, but I
Willis.
still want
You're
to-
right, Willis.
Hey,
Noop is a
but
fraud.
I still want your wife though.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, bring that little slim
Noop.
thing.
I promise
bring
you.
that little
I
slim
promise
thing.
you.
Hey,
If I ever
bring
see
that little slim thing here.
if I ever
You ain't
see
gonna
you
do
in person,
nothing.
I'm gonna slap the shit
You
out of
ain't gonna do nothing to me. You ain't gonna do nothing to me. Do you know how many people been saying that for since 2007? You ain't gonna do a damn thing.
you. It's why you're not married. Don't you get it? It's a trend.
I want
Yes.
your wife. I want your wife.
Nigga, you need.
That's why I'm not.
Oh, shit.
I've been waiting on your wife.
Yo, Angel
I've
went
been
out
waiting on your
bad.
wife.
He is going out bad. You see, he took himself off the video. He's
Who,
self-conscious now.
who on what video?
Put yourself back on video so I can keep ripping you.
No, I don't know. This is your show, bro.
You won't put yourself on video. I bet you got veins all and shit popping in your neck. You still got that tight-ass button shirt on?
I bet your wife like it. Like it. Bring
None of that moves me. I've been married since I was 19 years old. None of that moves me.
I know it don't.
19 years old.
Bring your wife in.
You the one big mad, not married.
That's way young, man.
How the hell you haven't been married at 70 years old, dude? What the fuck is wrong with you? You got weird toes.
I don't know.
Weird toes.
Yes,
yes. You got
I would hate to see that.
You got nipples on the left side, don't you? You got
everything you said. Yeah.
I don't see how a 70-year-old goes through life without marriage. You ever had a girlfriend?
I don't know either. No, I want your
You
wife.
had a girlfriend in jail? You had a wife in jail?
Your wife.
You had a
Your
girlfriend
daughter.
in jail?
Your daughter.
You had a
Your
girlfriend
daughter.
in jail?
God.
Yeah, your
You
son.
had a girlfriend in jail? Or was you the girl?
That's almost done. I'm just trying to.
I forgot to put them in that cup this morning.
David said, Eric, leave me out of this shit. David, don't comment. He's going to ban you, David.
Okay, stop moving. What's going on here? Well, it's buffing now. I don't know what's going on. It's buffing.
No, I cannot. No, I can't.
I let him talk mad shit for an hour straight about nation building, what he's supposed to be doing. And this sorry ass trifling motherfucker has never been married and he's 70 years old.
Damn.
You don't get the fuck out of people's face playing.
80 years old. 80 years old. Maybe 90. Maybe 90.
Who you want to ban next? Who you want to ban?
And maybe we can bring this. Maybe you can bring a real conversation. They're not going to do it.
Who the hell is that on the back wall? What group is that? I really want to know. Who's that on the back wall? Who's that on the back of the wall? Who's those ladies on the back of the wall? Who's the ladies on the poster on the back of the wall?
I'm done. It's 9 o'clock.
Who's the ladies on the back of the wall?
We're gonna let you say whatever you want to say, and then we're gonna be out of here. Because I'm done. I'm tired now.
You're a certified bitch. You banned everybody who stood up against you on your own platform. You let someone take it over. I listened to you ramble on for 40 minutes about nation building, only to find out that you're a flaccid, incompetent man. You are the exact definition of the wizard behind the curtain. Good night.
Oh man, I had to play that. Before I get out of here, I want to show, this is one of the reasons why you can't build with certain people. And this is the reason why you can't build with people like that. And, a lot of misinformation. You don't want to learn nothing. And every time he has somebody on the panel, this is the second time this happened. Every time he has somebody on the panel, he's arguing with them. He can't control his emotions. And this is one of the reasons why people like me stop fucking with him. So, and to me, I thought, like I said, and then what I don't understand, I wish the mental patients would stop tagging me. And I'm letting this mental patient know, please stop tagging me in your posts. I don't care about your posts. I don't care about your videos, because you're not saying anything that's relevant. Because I noticed that's what he started doing. He's tagging me and stuff. Why don't you tag the people that you had on your panel? Tag Stefan, tag Steven, tag those people. Don't tag me of anything. Because your videos to me is nothing but a comedy show. You're not bringing nothing new to the table. And just like this mental patient said, he said he don't read, he don't learn, he's not learning anything. So you're not bringing anything new to the tables. Everything he keeps talking about is redundant. Oh, you got something against Pan-Africanists. Oh, the Bible, oh, the Quran, all this stuff you're gonna keep saying over and over and over again. Who cares? You talk against he talk against the Quran, but you quote everything from Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad said, about the dirty glass, and why do you love the white man so much? Because he give you nothing. Over and over, everything what Elijah Muhammad said, quoting from a pedophile. And you become, this is what I'm saying, is that the people like him cannot keep friends. Like, how do you keep friends? Friends, this guy don't have no friends. This guy don't even, he's made it perfectly clear he has no family, don't want to talk to him, don't want to deal with him. He don't want to unify with nobody. He caused friends to become enemies. And then what I don't like, he try to recruit people that I know that wouldn't dare. Oh, he want to get Underrated Darkness on his channel. He want to get Sister Courtney Omega on his channel. These are people that I knew for years, way before this guy even existed. Nobody didn't even know who this dude is. But it seemed like to me, he accomplished one goal. Oh, let me get Underrated. Let me get him on my team. Let me get Omega Courtney on my team. And I noticed, what happened to the dark-skinned activist Rashida? Why come Rashida don't want to be on this panel? He makes all these enemies. Can't even have a decent dialogue with people. Then he goes off attacking people's character, attacking people's way of living. People live their life how they was raised. That's the bottom line. He's not perfect, but because you think you don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't have sex, you don't do nothing, that makes you righteous now? No, that doesn't make you righteous. You don't read books. Well, shit. How do you get through life? How do you get through life? So that means you just go on, get on your little laptop and look on certain videos. The majority of on YouTube it's a lot of pseudoism on YouTube. A lot of pseudoism, or if it's not pseudoism, it's entertainment. Very rare you'll find somebody that's really, really on point. You gotta bring something new to the table. And as you can see, he can't even have a constructive conversation without insulting people. I don't do that. I don't let people come on my panel and I'm going to insult them and say, oh, well, I'm not talking about you. Yes, you was talking about them. So I want to put that out here, and because I think this was a learning lesson that, and like I said, this was somebody had recommended to to do this video. So I just decided to do it for the hell of it, for entertainment purposes. But I had to straighten out a couple of things before I started this video to show this video. It's what it is. It's what it is. I mean, it's just sad that you can't really deal with goofy people. But Stefan, man, that Stevens guy, man, he was funny from day one, man. That guy was so funny. I mean, he saw it. He just saw it. I mean, these guys that coming from his Facebook page and you just can't deal with crazy people. You just can't deal with it. And I learned my lesson I learned that early. And things were just getting worse, attacking, and doing all this attacking and slandering and defamation. And I just had to separate it. It's just anybody that's cool with him, anybody that's down with him, I had to distance myself from him. I mean, it's unfortunately this guy will cause friendships to be torn apart. So the chickens come home to roost. When you put out bad energy, and I tell people, when you put out bad energy and you do something wrong, it's going to come back to you. So anybody that he tries to connect with is going to turn bad. It's just what it is, because that's the energy that you put out there. That's what you created. This guy don't know me. This nut Southern dude don't know nothing about me. He thinks he knows me. He believes. Let's use that word. He believes that he knows me, but he don't know anything about me. And I want to keep it like that. You can't put everything on social media, because the do-nothers, like Nut 7 and the rest of these clowns, Bozo Muhammad, all these do-nothers, that's all they do. They just want to wait. They see what you're trying to do, so they just want to find little flaws to criticize you and make 2-hour, 3-hour videos about you. This is what they do. I don't have to prove nothing to a do-nother. And I want them to have them think I'm not doing anything. And that's how I want to keep it that way. So with that said, I'm going to get out of here. I hope that was entertaining for everybody. I want to give a shout out to Stacy for being active. My brother Rashid, Hans, Jamel. Who else? I'm missing something. I think that's pretty much it. Everybody came through. With that said, I'm out of here. Until next time, I have another live coming up. I want to talk about Brandon, Pan-African Strikes Back. Brandon, he got into his little situation, so I want to definitely talk about that in my next live, because I thought that was some crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Brandon, Pan-African Strikes Back. So that'll be my next video coming up next week. But I hope you all enjoy this video. I hope you learned something. And the bottom, like I said, keep your circle small, and just know who you're dealing with. Don't just get on any old panel without doing some research on that person. Don't be siding with people without doing your research on that person. We gotta learn how to do background checks on people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't jump on people's panels. I don't let anybody come on my panel. I did that before, and I learned not to do it again. I won't never do it again. Because you could take the wrong person to come on your panel, and next thing you know it, you arguing. You can't even have a serious dialogue with people. So Know your circle. Know your circle. Okay? That's all I got to say on that. But with that said, I'm out of here. Peace and one love. Until next time.